We start on spin and go.
We started on spin. There was Refactor Pethin, a Gelasti pantsuit lizard lady. Very scary. She is the acting director of the Night Watch, which is the Worshipful Qadida kind of like shadow government people. And she wanted us to murder someone, which, it's fine. We could do that.
Just casual murder.
Just
another
realistic.
Tuesday.
I mean, to be fair, assassination, probably the least casual kind of murder that you can do. Really formal murder,
Yeah.
if you think about it. But this is our skill set.
Yes.
We're trying to prevent a political organizer from getting everybody too riled up in the divided domed city of Qadida. We can, and it would pay better to unalive this guy, but we can also deliver him to the gendarmes. And we were basically casing the neighborhood, trying to get our bearings, know who's who, what are the entryways, and so on. We had some good documents, but there weren't all good rolls when getting past the checkpoint, which is, I think, what got us into the current predicament.
We did successfully cross into Free Qadida, so that was something we did. We got some food.
Despite public transportation issues, I would add.
Yes. We did get into Free Qadida. We found the International Food Festival, and I successfully tricked Aaron into, letting us disappear.
Hats off to you.
And let's see. We got into the Collective Agora, which is where that International Food Festival was happening. In addition, that is where the political speech is going to happen in a few days, a few short days. And
I think I used track.
You did. Oh, yeah. Wilted Shriek Collector and I did a little recon. We found the amphitheater and the podium, and that's when Rel started to use track. And dun dun dun, in a little bit, she noticed a tail, and that tail jammed the comms, and now we're all freaking out.
And we closed last session with Rel having just gotten snatched by someone to be determined.
Yes.
And that's where we're going to begin today.
Yeah, we had two figures, and I don't think we know anything about them except that they're humanoids.
Right.
Faceless suits thus far.
And both Terri and WSC are, I believe we said you were a couple blocks away. You're not far away, and you are in pursuit, but you're not quite there yet.
Correct.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, the snatching happened not too far from us because Rel was doubling back to try to.
I was trying to loop back around. Yeah.
To the station, there was a top 10 anime betrayal situation in which the trash can got in the way of our raccoon person.
I walked into the trash can. Maybe I was too distracted by it. Maybe I was like thinking about getting in there and seeing if there was anything good. And that's what happened.
You had a really good track roll, but what you needed was a better dodge roll. That's what happened.
Yeah.
I believe we had some notion of where Rel was, but we have to pinpoint the exact location. And as far as we know, she's being detained, we presume, by authorities, but we haven't seen it.
Right. Okay.
All right. Let's see what I have that's interesting for finding friends.
So we're gonna have like I'm gonna fast forward narratively. We're not gonna begin immediately the moment after that happens. We're gonna just say that at this moment, Rel has been snatched. You've been captured. You've been taken somewhere. We're gonna get to that in a moment. WSC and Terri, while you were in pursuit, you kind of get you notice like a small note that has it has both of your names, first of all, which is a little unsettling. And it lists a meeting spot that is an hour from now at a location a couple blocks away in a park.
I don't like that at all.
And how are either of you? Which organizations or factions are both of you familiar with in Qadida? I forget what your affiliations are.
Loosely affiliated with the Jacaeans, which are more Terri's bag.
Yeah, but both of us are affiliated with them.
Right. Okay. You don't recognize there's like a small stamp in the corner, but you don't recognize it.
And Terri was using her own name, but I got in here with a fake name. So the fact that there is my actual name in the paper, oh boy.
Yeah, they have your jacket, so to speak.
Yikes.
But you don't know, it doesn't say anything at all. I mean, like, it doesn't say don't be armed, but it just says a time and a place.
WSC is just a weapon.
WSC is just arms, right?
Yes.
Just all arms.
Yeah, like I'm jagged and pointy all over. I have sort of mantis claw fingers.
Okay, so is there anything you'd like to do before? I'm assuming you want to go to the meetup spot. Is there anything you'd like to do before then?
First of all, Terri, are you familiar with this park location?
That's a great question. Am I?
You can decide that. You're not a stranger to Free Qadida, having done runs before.
Okay, this, given that it's, a meetup, somewhat clandestine, would I feel like that would probably be a typical location for someone who moves goods. So I probably would have, at least a passing familiarity.
Sure. I would agree with that. Yeah.
Well, I sort of know this place. But it's kind of a little bit, there's definitely, some people who are around there. So we might want to go early and see if there's anything fishy that we could tell.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe find a vantage point nearby.
Exactly.
Yeah. So where do you both want to meet in person, or do you want to have one of you stationed somewhere? How do you want to do this?
I don't think I have anything that would allow me to close the gap if I didn't go with for the actual meeting, and all my cooler stuff are short range.
Yeah, I think it's they already have our number, so we might just want to go.
Okay.
But maybe try to figure out what would be places where people could be hidden and try not to get ambushed.
That would be great. I do have counter surveillance, and I would definitely like to, once we get there, use that power and make sure that I know where all of the, possibilities are.
Do you want to do this before or as you get there?
So we're basically, the walls have eyes and ears. Burn 4 grit to immediately locate all surveillance devices in a room. Okay, here's my idea. Mm-hmm. Is me and WSC get there and pretend to have a picnic with the food that we've already picked up.
Okay.
And that gives us an excuse to be there for over an hour. Sure. And at that time, that's when I would use counter surveillance.
Okay. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah,
what do you think, Leo?
That's good.
Cool.
Okay.
Sure, awesome. Works. I need a lot of minerals to maintain my sharp edges.
The important question here is, what does your picnic blanket look like?
Ooh, that's a great question. I have it's downstairs in my basement, but it's bright pink and yellow checks. That's exactly the blanket that I want.
Excellent. Okay, so your bright pink and yellow checks picnic blanket, not at all inconspicuous.
No.
The two of you are sitting in the middle of the park. It's a normal day. It's maybe would this be evening? This would probably be evening, right? Because it was
an hour after all of the other shenanigans.
And that was kind of in the later part of the day. Right. So this is like maybe dusk. Sun is the source of light has set, gone away, and it's getting dim. Visibility isn't great, but it's not dark.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll burn that grit and marking that down. And I want to locate all surveillance devices in a room. I know what it picks up, and if the devices have already detected you and your party. I'm pretty sure they've detected us.
I would say, even with it being dim, and I'm going to say that this is a room, even though it's a park. We'll just say that the immediate vicinity,
if you're outside, is Qadida the room? Like the...
That's broken.
No,
it's a dome, right?
The dome, the walls.
I'm gonna say that you are definitely being surveilled, and you can tell. If nothing else, you're like you're Gelasti, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like your Gelasti, like bioelectric sense, it can just kind of prickle a little bit, and you can just tell, especially being in open air. You feel like you're being surveilled, and you know for certain that there is at least audio surveillance of you. If there is video surveillance, it would be far away. You can definitely tell that even though there are various obstructions and things here, the place you picked, like, there is line of sight from places far away, so there could be video surveillance.
Okay.
But it's a little too far away for you to know for certain, but it is possible. You are sitting there, and you can see a humanoid figure approaching you. They're about 20 meters away.
I think we're small talking.
Okay.
I want to size up this figure. I want to try to see if they're packing heat for one.
Give me a will perceive roll.
Okie dokie. I think I have a decent one. I do.
Yay.
Okay, 7.
That's good. You can tell from your experience that this person is the way that their weight is shifting as they're walking. The cadence is definitely showing armor vibes. Like they're wearing some kind of combat armor, not like full plate. We're not talking medieval armor. Like you might see on a SWAT team or something, like that kind of armor.
Clank stratum.
I'm sorry.
Sort of like of the clank sort of armor.
I think it's the kind like ballistic armor, I would say.
I'm thinking more like the technology strata.
Sure.
Right.
I actually don't have the stat on that here, but yeah, let's say it's clank. And you can also tell from their gait, because you rolled a 7, that they are packing at least one firearm. They have a long arm, and also you think they're pretty sure they have a sidearm as well.
I relay this information quietly.
They're not approaching you in an aggressive or offensive way.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the confidence of them approaching you suggests that they're probably not the only people here with guns or with weapons of some kind.
Well, are you here to join our picnic?
He gets straight to business. And he says, your friend got picked up by the Night Watch. We got contacted by the Swallows. They're the ones who told you to come here. We can get your friend out if you want, but that means we're not going to be available to help you if you need an exfil on your target.
Do I believe this one is genuine?
Roll it.
All right, another will. 6.
Okay, I need to roll for this one. You can't tell if he's lying or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's my thinking, is that I have the ability to disappear people if need be.
Okay.
So I'm comfortable with that.
You're comfortable with disappearing whomst?
Well, he said, they wouldn't be able to help us with exfiltration.
Oh,
That's
got it.
Fine with me.
Got it. Okay.
I am also pretty chill. I can change my exoskeletal appearance on command.
Oh God, yeah. Well, yes, we need our effects back.
Okay.
Please and thank you.
All right. He kind of like leans over slightly. He says, "It's a go." And he gives you an address. It's a couple blocks away, and he says, "Your friend will be here in 30 minutes." And you've all been made. Like at least one of you has been made for certain. They know who you are. You're going to want to be disguised if you try to do anything at all. We need that anti-capitalist scum to be taken out. And we can't help you with the exfil. The best I can do is, and he like tosses you a shot, sorry, not a shotgun. He tosses you a rifle.
Oh my.
He doesn't toss it at either one of you, just in your general direction. So I need one of you to catch it, or it's going to hit the ground.
Is this a movement check?
Yeah, is this a movement check?
It's a move check. It's a move check. It is now. It wasn't going to be, but it is now because this is funnier.
One of us gets captured, someone else gets
in the air
shot.
and flip it and do a motion like I'm turning it into a club just to do a randomly cool looking move in front of him. Can I roll combat?
Sure.
Good, because my D4 in movement doesn't
move. That is a 7.
It is. Oh, describe it. Tell us what happens. Excellent roll.
I see this long gun floating in my way, and I reach out to it, already starting to spin my body, and I turn it into sort of a club, and and then I suddenly slow it down, and it's almost like I'm doing a martial arts kata very slowly, just making eye contact with the guy, and I put it in my backpack.
Rifle backpack.
So unnecessary.
Yeah, that might be a problem. Yes. It's not a super long thing, but I basically did a flashy demonstration of it just to save face after.
Because that's the only way you can catch things. Like you have to make it flamboyant.
I have to do it with a violent flourish. I can't just catch it.
Your clandestine companion here is unfazed by the movement, like he doesn't even flinch, but he does raise an eyebrow at the flourish.
It's the murder bug version of having to buy anything that is tactical.
Right.
It has so many pockets.
Yeah, that was a tactical
WSC just like pockets everywhere.
Yeah, that's a trained like tactical cap of an item.
Okay, so he asks briefly, but not expecting you to actually have any. Do you have any questions?
Will our friend be is this a situation where you deliver our friend back to us on a silver platter, or do we have to fight someone and you are just putting them in an advantageous location?
Silver platter would be generous. We don't have that kind of money.
Very well.
All right, I guess not having that kind of money.
A tin plate, then.
We don't have that kind of interest of spending money on silver platters. Yeah, maybe a bronze. Maybe it's like a it's like
camping.
It's got a
camping
veneer.
plate.
Yeah, it's got a veneer of tin on the outside. The inside, it's actually Corel ware.
Sturdy.
Yeah.
Potentially some resistance, but we're not expected.
Your friend will be safe. We can't promise that she'll be unscathed.
All right, we gotta go get her.
Okay. Rel, you have a fun day. This has been a fun evening for you. You were like briefly unconscious. You don't know how or why. And you had a bag over your head.
Quick question.
Yes.
Does me being unconscious count as a rest?
It was not 5 hours long, so no.
Oh man. I could have used the sleep. Okay.
I would give it to you as a nap, but not sufficient to recover pool. The bag never actually leaves your head. You don't know where you were taken. All of a sudden you hear a bunch of loud noises, and a door or some kind of barrier nearby like bursts open, and you hear it's loud. There's maybe like some like shots fired, and you hear bodies hitting the ground, and then you're like picked up because you're not as effects, you're not terribly large, right?
I am 3.5 feet tall.
Okay, yeah. So you're just picked up completely and kind of carried almost like a football, and rushed out of there. And it's a bit of a scuffle to get you out of the whatever it is that you're in. They toss you into the back of a van, and it peels off. You still don't know where you're going or who has you or anything. And then the next thing you know, like the van stops, the back door is open, and you're kind of like brusquely like tossed off of the back of the van. And that's where the two of you see your friend with a bag over her head, with the van like speeding away.
Are my hands free to like claw the bag off?
No. And I also need you to take a D4 of health damage.
Oh. Right. 3. Okay.
Okay, so I go over and I grab Rel and I give her a hug, and I like lean my head against her, and I'm going to use my healing saliva and sweat. And I'm basically gonna nuzzle her and heal her for for 5 hit points. Okay, let's see how much grit it takes.
Forget unicorn tears. This is what Gelasi sweat.
Yeah, so that's 6 grit, but you get 5 health back.
Thank you. Yeah, I think when you initially come close, I'm like, wait, is that? And I think I maybe start to recognize the smell of Terri, and then I get like licked, and I'm like, yeah, that's Terri.
It's happened before, and it's oh, okay, we gotta get the fuck out of here. I have to change clothes. This is not going well.
I assume my hands are bound or something. Can someone free me?
Oh yeah, I would have done that in the hug.
Right. Okay. Cool. Great. Yeah, I claw the bag off my head, and I'm like, that was not the best start.
Considering the situation, we might not want to go to the station, back to Worshipful Qadida, then back here. So potentially acquiring a hideout. I have an idea.
Okay.
Remember that when we went on a little bit of a recon mission in the auditorium, there was a guard who I could potentially impersonate with my abilities.
I do.
That
Well, hold on, before you do anything else, I need both WSC and Terri to roll me a will/resist world test.
Okay.
And this is just for my own planning purposes. It won't have any effect on this encounter right now. This is related to something
So
else.
are we in Free Qadida or Worshipful Qadida now? Do we know?
You're still in Free
Still
Qadida.
in free.
Right. Okay.
And what did you get,
6.
Leo? 6. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Leo, you were saying impersonate the guard?
that because we have a guy who could potentially be our in to the place where Yellow Tent Shaver is going to be, and that guy has to live somewhere. If we kill the dude, we can just squat in his house for a while and not leave and just eat whatever's in the fridge. I can literally eat the furniture to leave more actual food for you.
You could just eat the fridge.
That's very considerate of
That's
you.
gonna definitely like void
I
the
don't know
security
what he
deposit.
has, but as a Wythe, I can literally eat the chairs
I love
and
that.
recover grit while doing it.
Yeah, you're gonna lose your security deposit there.
We also haven't even resolved my track. Like we were just we were trying to get to Yellow Tent Shaver, and we just never even made it there.
I think that you're gonna have to do another track because you've been not only have you been unconscious, you've been discreetly taken to 2 different locations now. Any sort of like intuition you had about where something was, you're kind of all disoriented right now.
Yeah, I think when we got to the first location, they also just spun me around in a circle for a bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just to try to get you to puke. They heard the Fexus can't
smart.
puke, so they wanted to see if that was true.
I was very offended by that.
I have a quick question.
Shoot.
Have our walkies come back online?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's important.
Mhm. Yeah, all of your technology and devices have all been functional. I don't know if you checked them in the park, but they're working now.
Okay. I don't think we checked in the park, but super good to note.
Mhm.
Okay. I theoretically, what I could do, we could either track the security person, like Leo said, or I could use a kin and see if I could get us a place that doesn't involve a murder, like try and find a safe house. But I'm good with either.
The thing about the guard is that if we get him out of the picture and I show up to do his job, we're in.
Yeah. That's a good
I think
point.
that's a really good plan for maybe after we've done our actual recon that we were trying to do, right? Because we still don't know anything about Yellow Tent Shaver or how we're actually going to perform this hit or what we're doing with that. But I think when we're ready to lie low before the job, I think that's like I'm happy to go to the guards.
So
we need to do something about the fact that Rel is recognizable to the authorities. So
and me.
potentially try to get
You're
you
pretty
disguised
sure.
and-
Well, from what your contact said, you're pretty sure that you've all been made with your current appearances.
Right. And Wilt has disguise abilities, but
Yeah.
I don't think I've got anything like powers or like tech. wise.
Okay.
So we'd maybe just need to try and pick up stuff in Free Qadida. I don't know how to disguise myself, like other than like my like doing the body language of a child to try and go kind of unseen. Like I don't know how to disguise myself to not look like effects, right? Because that's pretty noticeable.
Yeah, I think we have to find somewhere and just absolutely like we're three very distinct distinct species, and we're gonna have to find some way to like WSC is going to be the best of us to actually
infiltrate. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have a question for Aaron then. Are there any types of like common jobs around Free Qadida where people wear clothes that would disguise their appearance in any way? Like, is there any kind of like construction or like, you know, anything where people wear like full body?
My guess would be like sanitation or construction where you might have to worry about breathing. Or I would say that kind of work is probably the local YMCA. So something like that is probably a safe bet. Or if you someone that had to go in and out of the dome because there's no breathable atmo out there, so they need to have like a full at least head covering. Yeah.
Have a pitch then. What if I'm like just I guess maybe just generally like a tech, like a tech person, or like maybe like a plumber or something like that, because like I have that tight spaces ability for like getting into vents and stuff like that. So maybe something along those lines where I could get like, you know, a hat and a rebreather or something.
Super like... Mario effects.
Yeah. if you want to make some kind of disguise, I'll let you decide whether that would be. There'd probably be like a reason check, I'm thinking. And then anytime you're going to do an interaction, I'm going to have you do either like a charm persuade or charm perform, depending on the nature of the deception you're trying to use.
Okay, I would like to pitch that I want to scope out what I want to acquire as my reason check, but then once I know, I'm going to send Terri to go get it for me. Okay. That's cool.
Totally.
Terri, you said you have kin. I am like open to that if you want to reference them here. I don't know who you call.
Yeah, so we already used one of my low status kin on the Worshipful Qadida side where they're, you know, my little lookout kitties. But this would be another, you know, someone that I could rely on to have a safe house on this side of things.
Okay.
Before we enact the plan of me and Rel's disguise plus going after this other what am I trying to say? The guy that WSC is going to impersonate.
Okay.
So oh no, you go ahead.
What I'm thinking is once Rel is disguised, by that point, I look like a completely different weight and all the jags and points are gone and I'm like white and pink now.
Okay. Is that a class feature or what are you using there?
I am using the Blooder Power reconfig. I am going to look like this for 24 hours. And while at the park, I acquired a bunch of tree bark to eat later.
Okay. Awesome.
But once Rel is disguised and like being somebody who moves around, I could pitch even that if we get enough industrial dirtiness on you, it might even make your fur less recognizable by color.
Sure.
But once she's up to speed, I could probably be with her when we try to locate Yellow Tent Shaver again, because I don't think our enemies would be able to prevent me from sending my nanites to go ask Terri for help if need be. So I'm probably going to be walking around with Rel for a bit.
My disposition about this is basically what you're doing is shaking a tail, and like you've been you've been made so they know who you are, and when they're able to identify you, they can thread it to the other things they've ID'd about you. But anytime you want to make a disguise or like throw off your tail in this way, we're just going to say that they don't currently have the next part of the thread yet. But when you fail to deceive them or fail to like disguise yourself or something, they'll realize who you are, and then they'll connect it back, and then you'll have to find a way to shake the tail again. So I'm cool with the plan to disguise yourselves, and I think while you're disguised, you have some level of cover for like clandestine acts and things. You'll just have to, it'll just be a little bit more difficult to do stuff that maybe before you could do acting freely.
All right.
Fair enough.
Like, for example, going to the International Food Festival, you'll have to be making disguise and deception or perform checks just to do that, whereas before you could walk in freely.
Right.
All right.
All right, so I think let's go and find a safe space, and then from that safe space we will disguise and patch up.
Excellent.
And hopefully regain pool.
Okay,
If
so
we've got time, yeah.
I would say it's getting pretty late, and you're still on the first day. The next day is the day like when you're gonna make the thing, or you're gonna set up the thing to happen tomorrow, and then the following day is like the day of the speech.
Right.
So we have one day in between.
You have one full day before the speech actually happens. We're closing out the YTS -2 or something was that we're calling it. We're closing that day out. You will have a chance to rest and recover some pool if you can get to a place that is relatively safe. So
right.
where is
we're
that?
relying on Terry's contact to try and find somewhere for that.
Yeah.
So what you got?
I get an additional 2 low status kin. I can name them at character creation or leave them blank until needed. You should decide where they work, what faction they work for, etc. So I think this is just someone on this side of things that I know will house me on like the times that I've gone back and forth.
Sure. As a smuggler, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, cool. We just gotta go this way.
Cool.
And just little plotting movements for me.
Describe the place you're going to.
So on the Worshipful Qadida side, my safe house was like a burnt out shell of a building that was reinforced. And I think for the free Qadida side of things, it's more of a like a very populous apartment building that has just like a lot of different levels, a lot of people going in and out, and it's another one of those moments where you're disappearing into a crowd, not necessarily like disappearing into nothingness.
Okay.
And then I don't know anything about this kin aside from.
Do you have a secret knock?
Yes, there's definitely a secret knock. There's going to be some passwords. In my D&D game yesterday, a secret password was Bananarama, and I'm borrowing that from my friend George because
it's a cruel summer.
Exactly. So
are these passwords on secret knocks things that you trust your compadres to see you do and utter, or are they things you do completely discreetly?
A little bit. In my mind, they change every so often. Like once a week, they'll change to something new. And I know that there's an expiration date, and also I trust these guys for the most part.
Okay.
Bananarama. And then the pass back is Cruel Summer.
Is it like a door or like a hatch, or like what's the entry like?
It's a door, and then on the inside there are armed guards inside, and if you didn't use the right pass code phrase, you would get messed up something big.
Nice. Great. So the door creaks, or doesn't creak, as it were, open, and the guards kind of like eye you all down, making sure that no one's being forced in or that you weren't coerced into giving the password. And they kind of glance at you like are you like, what, how do you look back? You get thumbs up. Okay. So they're like, all right. And they kind of like just gesture with their head, still looking behind you to check for other threats.
Thumbs up, but also like my little flaps around my head kind of like wave.
That's what they're really looking for,
Hey.
is the head flap waving. That's the true Joasti thumbs up, is the head flaps.
Exactly.
So the three of you get in, the door is shut behind you and resecured. What's it like in here? What is this? Is this like an underground smuggler safe house, or is this just your friend's pad and they have a lot of extra security? Are they like a famous musician?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. There's again, like bins of clothes that can do quick changes for people.
Yeah, that's perfect. This is the right choice, apparently. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe if I'm allowed to say this.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe they're hawking like knockoff designer gear or something.
Exactly. There's like some Fucci bags and
I mean, I think given that you're a smuggler, and given that getting back and forth across the rift is like your whole thing, you were having to do this all the time, it makes total sense that you would have a kin connection with these kinds of resources. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
I totally buy it. Yeah. You've passed your persuade check against the GM.
Hell yes. Yeah, but this is like a quiet place to hang out. Quiet as far as, like you can have, guards at the door quiet. But theoretically we should be able to rest and do some disguises and regroup.
What is your friend's name?
Oh, you know what? I should go to the Stillfleet strings and see what I can find.
Plug.
Wink.
Wow, this is the part where you do like the ad roll.
Yeah.
For the Stillfleet strings product. Like if you join on Patreon, you can save your creations.
Okay, so this is the first name that already came up is Musk Gold.
Perfect.
I gotta do it. That's perfect.
That's gorgeous.
So
That's
Musk
incredible.
Gold. Terrible. I don't like it, but I need it. So my friend Musk Gold, who I feel like is probably, partially human-ish.
Mm-hmm. Are they a fleeter? Are they like what is their species?
I don't think they're a fleeter since we're on the free Qadida side, and it would be obvious that someone is like fleetery.
Okay.
But this is just someone who has worked with the Jacanians.
Okay.
And, has good relationship.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes.
Rel and WSC, what do you think about this place? Have you been here before?
I think I've been.
Don't think I have been. Sorry.
No?
From cooperating with Terri before. It's funny because I think at one point or another, people would have noticed that sometimes I am seen coming in, or I'm not seen coming in, but I'm seen going out because I got in here in the briefcase after doing something. You're like, what's the deal with that one?
What's the deal?
Well,
Um,
that's what I was thinking about for like this is a very populated building. It's got a lot of people coming in and out, and
I see.
it's easy to, you know, wow, there's just so many people here. You never know who's coming in or who's going out.
Folks lose track then. So not that, but I've been here before. I've been here with you doing runs and stuff like that.
And I think Terri is going to have to get rid of her big fancy boots and fluffy fleece jacket, and she's going to go real boring with it.
No, not the juicy pants.
What is real boring for Terri?
Oh my god, it's no more juicy pants. It's going to be a jumpsuit. It's going to be a little jumpsuit. I think if Rel is going to go plumber, Terri's going to go like waste management and something that, you know, it's just a gray, boring jumpsuit with a space for her tail. And she's like, her little head flaps are just going to be like so sad at the fact that she can't splash out. There might be like one pink patch on it.
Just for flourish. Terri can't hold it in. You can't be completely banal. You have to have some color.
Yeah.
Absolutely irrepressible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am excited by like all the different clothing options, but again, like as effects, like I have to like hand modify all of my clothes to be like small enough. So I'm like, that would be really, I could really do something good with that. But I don't have time. So I go with like the one thing that actually fits. And we're like, does it raise questions of if children have been hired as plumbers in Qadida? Yes. Are we ever going to find out? I'm going to say no.
I would say, Kelly, would you say that that nearby all of these disguises, there would probably be some kind of like like modification, like not a sewing machine, but like
No, there's a
various
sewing
implements.
kit.
Yeah, some scissors and thread and needles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you have to make modifications to it, that would like you would be able to, maybe not to the extent that you would like.
Yeah, no, I think I'm just like threading elastic through like the, you know, like the cuffs and stuff so that they can like actually, but it's not a tidy job and it's not up to my grandmother's standards.
Right, because your grandmother would have a problem with like a poorly made costume and not assassinating a political person.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sewing is important in my family. It's a family tradition.
Leo, what's WSC doing here? How are you gearing up?
Yeah, I was wondering about that. There's a lot of bootleg type stuff, so and I can't look like my previous self. I've already changed form and I've downsized a bit because I can go down to child size if I want. So I'm going to get on a more convenient size. And
That's terrifying, just so you know.
And I'm wearing this shirt that nobody really understands. It's a copy of something that was found in like an archaeological expedition on Terra, and I think I'm not gonna try to look too official, so maybe I could be a street hawker, and I'm wearing a Sonic Harry Potter Obama shirt.
Did you say Sonic Harry Potter Obama?
Have you seen this? I sent it. I couldn't send it in the comments, but if anybody wants to look up Sonic Harry Potter Obama, it's a real thing. There are t-shirts, there are backpacks of this, and that's what I'm wearing. I am a white and pink bug wearing a Sonic Harry Potter Obama shirt.
Wythe posted it in the Twitch chat. Wow, this is amazing.
Whoa.
I have to send this to my friend Nikki. My friend Nikki needs to buy this, and they will.
This is the official dress code of the Qadida Double Veg. Yes, agreed, 100%.
And I'm going to acquire a couple. I'm going to get a couple more things just to pretend that I'm trying to sell people these types of things.
Okay.
I love all of our disguises.
Yeah, these are fantastic. Okay,
have
what I want
least
each of you to do. Oh, sorry.
golf
Go ahead.
bug I
Go
can,
ahead.
so that's what I'm going with.
Okay. What I want you to do is, for your disguises, I want you to roll, unless you think there'd be a different roll for this,
Oh, no, I don't
roll
hear
a
anyone.
reason make roll, or like a reason fabricate, whatever, like something along those lines. If you have a bonus, this specific thing for
thanks.
doing this kind of spycraft, feel free to apply it. You're making a disguise though, and I want to know what you roll.
Okay.
Okay, I've. Oh, no, this doesn't count, right? Because I've got advantage on reason rolls related to micro tinkering or tech that require precision or detail. It requires precision and detail, but it's not micro tinkering or tech, right?
Right, that would be from the goggles, right?
Yeah.
If there was like any kind of like special circuitry or gadgetry that you needed to make this costume work, I would let you have it there, but I don't think that's
No,
the
I
case.
don't think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've rolled a 4, so that's great.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll 3 grit or burn 3 grit.
Okay.
And my Telos is deception. Would
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what that gives me, but
So like normally it would give you either like a small grit bonus or a +2 on a roll. I'll let you have the +2 on this.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna burn the 3 grit and get that +2, and then okay, so that was a 5, so 8, 10.
10. Okay. And Leo, what did you roll for WSC?
I can mimic literally any other appearance. So
Okay.
it's just in the power.
Yeah.
But I guess the persona I'm adopting is that I am a street hawker of goods, and I'm going to point out that I used to be a merchant, and I dealt in not the most savory goods before. I was a carry-on merchant, if that's worth anything.
Right.
Consider what I'm talking here: cultural carry-on.
I love it. I think he's right.
Gosh. Oh yeah. God, that's where we are today, isn't it? Cultural carrion. Okay, I didn't you make me roll anyways. This is going to affect. What I'm checking for here is the roll that you make here is going to affect the bonus or penalty you get to future rolls where this costume is involved.
You guys, I'm so fucked.
You know,
I have a D12.
You were snatched.
And I've already been made once.
Yeah,
I'm gonna roll. Do I get any sort of advantage on that roll with the fact that I literally look like another bug?
I'm gonna say no, but it's just roll it and see what you got.
All right, I'm burning 3 grit and rolling charisma.
Okay.
Charm.
Oh no, this is a this will be a reason roll. This
reason.
is I'm using reason here because you're making decisions about the kind of costume you want to make and how you want to present it. You're sort of strategizing about the character persona you're going to be portraying in your interactions.
I'm gonna change things up a bit. There was a moment where I lost you guys and I was worried for a bit, and then it popped back up with you asking Kelly things. Okay, in that case, I think I'm gonna pretend I have what was my former job, and I'm going to get some like stains and get a sort of bloodied apron to go with my Sonic Harry Potter Obama shirt. And I'm going to pretend I am a carry-on merchant because I used to be one, and I have advantage on reason checks regarding the biology of other species and stuff. So if somebody interrogates me, I know everything about this xenomete.
Okay.
Zeet, if you will.
Yeah, the Zeet.
Sure. All right.
You get a cap.
Rel, if you want to burn any grit on this roll, I don't know if you knew that you could burn grit, but if you want to burn any grit, that's fine.
Total 6 here.
6. Okay.
But
yeah, I've only got 6 grit. We're about to rest, right? So
and you did roll reason, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Just I burn. Well, if we're because we don't recover full, do you? I'm gonna burn 3.
Okay.
And roll.
We can just say that like retroactively.
No, I'm gonna change dice.
Okay, I would say you don't have to roll again. We can just say retroactively.
Oh, right, we can just
3.
say it. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That would be what? 4 plus 3, 7.
7. Okay, so you rolled 7, and Kelly, you rolled
10.
10, and then Leo, you rolled 6. Okay, so tomorrow, whenever you have any kind of interaction involving this costume, if you're in this character, I will let you have a Rel, you can have a +1, Leo, you get a +0, and Kelly, you get a +4 to your rolls. Until you are made. Once you are made, costume no longer works. But while the costume's active, I'll let you have those bonuses.
Sorry, so we get those bonuses to what kind of roles exactly?
When you're making a charm roll for depicting like that persona that you're adopting.
Right.
If it's relevant for the costume, as long as you're in character, you can have that as the bonus because the costume is reinforcing it.
Cool.
I think that those bonuses track based on circumstances and also, the fact that this is Terry's turf. She knows the stuff a lot better. She could fashion a more costume more easily. Do you all think that's fair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can
Cool.
I spend some time hunting down local vermin to have some to sell?
Leo, for your carry-on merchanting, if you have actual carry-on that you're dispensing as part of your costume, like we can factor that in if it comes up. Kind of hoping it does.
If it comes up.
Yeah.
So here, may I pitch that WSC in his little briefcase absolutely has some disgusting bits and bobs in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Well,
So there's there is that delightful shirt. There is my bloodied apron, and then I have these critters hanging from their tails on my belt.
Yeah, I'd like to think that you're not even going to be the weirdest thing on the street either.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes. So how do we roll to recover pool again if we're
Yes.
resting overnight?
So
as well?
it's your level plus, what is it? Combat plus move, I think. I just looked at this yesterday.
We're level 4.
It's D move plus D will plus level. Thank you, Wythe. Minimum.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Before I do that, I am going to eat a bunch of my tree bark. So I get to make a will resist world check. The result is the number of d4s I roll. For every 4, I get a point of pool, and then I'm gonna do the other recovery.
Are we level 3, guys?
Yeah, we're level 3.
Cool. Okay.
So yeah, roll move, roll will, and add 3.
Oh,
10 d4s.
Damn it.
I would say you can boost the roll, but that kind of defeats the purpose.
Shit.
Okay. That brings me back to 18. Great.
What did you each roll?
I rolled 6 plus 3 is 9, so I'm back to middle of the road grit.
Yeah, so I got 7 because I have a 6 plus 1. 7 plus 5 plus my level, which is 3, so 18 altogether because I already had 3 grit.
Excellent.
Do the static
I'm an 18
bonuses
out of 24.
apply to these rolls? Because I have a static bonus to my movement. Does
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
All right.
You're rolling it. It's just a regular roll.
Yeah, and from my mandibles, spiracles, etc., I recovered 5 pool, and now I'm going to recover grit the normal way.
Okay.
6.
What is everyone's current pool values, health and grit?
So I'm at full health, 22 out of 22. And for grit, I've got 18 out of 24.
Okay. Terry?
I'm at full health at 21, and grit, I also have 21.
Okay. And
But that's
WSC?
I got both full because I didn't really do much with my grit the last session. So it's 30 health, 28 grit.
Oof.
Damn,
All
you're
right.
beefy.
Conquer.
I kept going back and forth between making the character more of a glass cannon or not, and then I remember that I can punch the grit out of people and into me, so I emphasized
Yeah, I
Damn.
like when like beefy, but like it's a skeleton that's just streaming in
Chitney.
beef.
it's a very sharp bone.
Yeah, the beef is on the outside.
WC is swole as fuck.
With dead rats.
that sinewy strength, that calisthenics power shit.
Okay, I want everybody, when you rest, I want everybody to give me a one-line description of something that was in your dream this night.
The pulsing red glow of bonsai frostwood in an empty room that reeks of blood.
Excellent.
I am
Rel?
not specifying which blood I mean by that.
Terri?
So I think Rel had a really pleasant dream about having tea with one of the dome builders, which are the people that the Kabati are kind of obsessed with. And she's like really gutted that when she wakes up, she's like, oh, I don't really remember anything about what they were like, except it was nice.
Terri?
I think Terri is dreaming of her shoes, and then they sort of like recede in the distance, and it's kind of like one of those dreams where like you're reaching out for something and it's just escaping your grasp because she's not wearing her shoes.
Ever evasive shoes. Oh. Okay.
Tragic.
So
it's pure tragedy.
You wake up feeling more or less rested. Maybe still a little scuffled up, but not bad. And this is it. This is planning day. How are you going to make this happen?
We better get a fucking move on, really.
Yeah.
All we've done so far is get caught.
Well, you also have to figure out transportation issues too.
Yeah, legit. Let's not even specify how we travel anywhere. Let's just say, okay, we're there. Let's just try and skip. Yeah, right. I want to track down Yellowtown Shaver. Right.
Okay.
Let's figure out how we're going to do this.
Yeah. I was going to ask if I could use find tricks to try to get to the guy. Maybe not pinpoint Yellow Tent Shaver, but like I have this tool. It is a political resonance detector. It
Do you mean
points toward political organizing.
Hold tricks?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Hold tricks is really fun. Just give me the good text.
What is the techno gadget you have, and what does it do?
A number of minor techno tricks equal to my level -1. Blah blah blah.
So for the audience,
I think I'm going to use. Can I use it to give the +2 to the roll, or give me a clue about finding the guy? Okay. I have this gizmo that detects political organizing. As you can see, there is this. It's basically a radar.
Twitter.
It pings where political organizing is happening in relation to where I am, and I know the direction of politics.
It's like consuming GPS data of where all the tweets are happening on a political hashtag, and then I like glums them together. Yeah.
I hope that this will help me find our prolific political organizers, so I can point to the politics whenever politics pings, and Rel can try to see if it's our guy. This will give her +2 to a single roll.
Okay. So are you wanting to let Rel use this with her track roll?
Yeah, the idea is that I'm assisting her track roll.
Yeah. I'm good with this. Okay. And for the audience, the Hold Tricks is a communications advanced power, and it lets you use once per session. You can deploy a number of minor techno tricks, and each one can give you +2 to a single roll or a clue. And we just make it work somehow. So Leo is having WC use a techno trick to give Rel a bonus on her roll.
I like the idea that Rel is not like really up on like the Qadida Twitter, and so she has to focus quite hard to figure out how this is helping, but obviously we get there. So for track, I need to know if this is an easy, difficult, or near impossible target to know how much grit to burn.
I'm gonna say it's probably difficult. Not near impossible. You know roughly where they are, but I am gonna say that it's at least difficult.
Okay, so I need to burn 5 for that, and then I also
Okay.
roll a reason check. And I'm getting +2 to that. Is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. My reason. I
Imagine that
believe
we're
is
walking
12.
through the streets and I randomly point in some direction. And I go, politics, 3 o'clock.
That's. I got a natural 12, which is my which is a crit basically.
Yeah, it's weird. Apparently, YTS has a Twitter account. It's so weird, and
He's just tweeting. He's live tweeting where he is.
they forgot to turn
That's
off location
14.
services because I guess like maybe like Twitter just changed ownership and they changed the settings and all that. So like their location services turn on. You know basically exactly where they are.
We had the
Hell
thing
yeah.
like that literally happen here in Brazil, where a politician who was on the run was, tweeting without turning off the location thing.
Oh my
So the
god.
cops got the guy because he was tweeting, and every time he tweeted, the cops knew where he was.
That's
Incredible.
wild.
Brunch is really great at this spot. XOXO.
Life imitates art.
Also, Rachel, I love that you're wearing a raccoon shirt
Thank
for
you.
in Rel's honor. Yes.
Obviously.
Fantastic.
Perfect. Oh my god. Also, I'm still laughing at the Harry Potter or Sonic Obama because the about this design on it, if you haven't
It's
read it,
great.
says very handsome blue spine pig. Fast. This is really important information.
Amazing.
Oh man.
This is
wow.
this is the Sonic Obama
Oh, there's a
episode.
there's a Stillfleet tie-in for this as well, because like
Sure.
the whisker folk people that are like the little they're the little like rodent people that I came up with for a homebrew game, and they're all like reskins of like Stillfleet species, and I had a friend accidentally roll a blue hedgehog character like just from random rolls. It was like what
Ooh.
color, what species, and it was like, yeah, so Sonic exists in the Stillfleet universe. I'm just
Sonic is canon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Also, sorry if you can hear Capone snoring. It's
I
very
cannot,
loud
but I
to
wish I
me.
could.
Okay, so you like for now at least, you know exactly where YTS is. You don't know what the location is that they're at, like if it's a pub or someone's house or like the bathroom. You just know like you have their coordinates, so to speak. They're in Qadida. They're not far away.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
think
we got like a neighborhood, a block. How narrow is it?
When you say how narrow, what are you referring to?
What is the rough radius in which we can expect to find this guy? Because we followed the politics and then Rel's nose, and we know he's in some area, but like is
I
it
would say I mean for right now, assuming you act sooner than later. If you act later, obviously they'll be at a different place and you'll have to track them again. But for right now, you know exactly where they are.
well, like down to the
presumably
building?
we can track down exactly, but we won't know in advance where that exactly is, right? We have to follow the trail, but if we follow the trail, then we'll get right to him. That's how I understand it.
Yeah. That's basically my understanding too. Yeah, is that's what would happen.
Great. Let's hoof it then.
Yeah.
Yep. Ready to go.
And you were all like wearing your disguises and everything. I'll let you figure out for yourselves if you have a pretense for why you're going in this direction, since it basically looks like you're the village people.
Well, I think that WSC and Rel were together on this one, and I was holding back and being the like Rel is in plumber mode and I'm in garbage man mode.
Right. Okay. Great.
Where there's workers, there's people in need of fine xeno meat for nourishment.
Okay. So you're heading into the neighborhood, and let's see here. See, we are in Free Qadida. I swear I have a table for this. Oh, maybe I don't. I would say that this is probably a pretty typical day. If things such as weekends existed in Free Qadida, then I would say it would be like your average weekend morning. People out running errands, normal like cleaning type stuff, people setting out their trash or whatever for the trash union to pick up. It's pretty like it's peaceful. You're not being hassled by anyone. You're not even in an area where there's as much security as the more densely populated areas. I would make a relative descriptor to the city, but two of you don't live in New York, so.
No, all three of us don't live in
Oh,
New
I mean,
York.
yeah, but you've been to the city before.
Yeah,
so.
like I've been
Okay, fair.
once. A decade ago.
I was thinking of is like if you ever go to like Times Square or like that strip, the tourist trap where it's just like shoulder to shoulder pedestrian traffic, and then you go 2 blocks over and it's like, it may as well be a wasteland. There's just nobody there. It's like that different.
Gotcha.
That's kind of what I'm imagining. So yeah, you're like just heading in that direction. What kind of preparations are you making here? Like what are you like? What is your plan? Like, are you just gonna go and like talk to YTS directly? Like, I don't know what your goal is here. Just gonna walk up, like, "Hi, I'm here to kill you."
I think we figure out what his security is, because that person's gonna have security. I would be looking for gunmen on rooftops. I would be looking for people who look a little bit more serious than usual in the streets. Try to figure out. So we go to the place and we know the building he's in. Would we know like what floor Yellowton Chambers is?
What floor do you think he's in? I would say that if we're going by like, if this is analogous to GPS, you would know their XZ coordinates, but not their Y coordinate. Like you wouldn't know how high off the ground they are. You just know like roughly where they're at. You are in their neighborhood. I believe you did know what neighborhood they would be in. Rel, when you had used track previously, you had a general sense of it was in the Warren district, in the northern half of the Warren district. So it's definitely in that general area. The buildings they're not like tall buildings, but they're not like ranches either. Like, these are like maybe 3-4 story buildings.
Cool. My thought was that I wanted to go observe what he's doing, right?
Okay.
Like what kind of person he seems like. But also ideally maybe trying to get a hold of someone who actually knows him and might have some information we could extract. Think
Okay.
about that kind of stuff.
So how far away from the destination do you want to be when you start asking those questions?
I think we probably want to like observe from the outside of the building to see what we can gather before entering, to see if we can even see him, like, it depends what kind of building it is, but like.
Okay.
One thing I did want to remind everyone was that our comms were deliberately like shorter range but more discreet. So I think at this point, between all three of our disguises, we're not really together, but we are like we're not, in basketball terms, we're not playing man-to-man defense and like being all up in each other's business. We're in zone mode where like, all three of us are moving in our own little circles, but within our range. If that makes sense.
Yeah, keeping close track of where each other is, but not being together as one. Yeah.
Bingo.
I'm trying really hard not to split the party again. This is my fatal flaw. I swear to God.
Absolute
I've
same.
killed fellow party members this way, and I need to rein it in.
Okay, so what WC, what are you doing here? What are you scoping out?
What do people use to get into the building? Do they use some sort of technological token? Do they use regular old-fashioned keys? Is this some sort of, I don't know, retinal scan or something like that?
The entry to the building is there aren't like guards posted outdoors. I think since you're looking closely, I think you can see there's definitely like some kind of camera or something down there. You can't see it from where you're at here, but like when you saw someone walk into the building, they kind of like glanced upwards, like up and to the right, and then back at the door, and then the door opened, and then they walked in. I think you can probably infer from that there's some kind of remote control lock, and that there's a person working behind a desk somewhere that's like authorizing people to get in.
Oh,
So does this look like a residential building to us, not like a public?
How familiar are you with Free Qadida?
Quite.
Well, it's clearly it's not like a bar or something like that.
Clearly. Not a bar, no.
Right. Yeah.
I would say, Terri, you would recognize this as maybe not an office building, but maybe like a former residential building that's been modified into some kind of working space.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
private, but not like apartments.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a weird co-working space.
Yeah. They probably have a cool name for it. Yeah.
Maybe some pool tables.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Someone in the chat suggest us a name for it, please.
Yes.
Does it rain inside the dome? Do these buildings need drainage pipes and stuff?
I actually don't know that. I don't think so.
Sewage and stuff, right?
Yeah, there's
toilets.
Atmo being maintained, and I presume that part of that would be moisture. I'm gonna say there's probably not rain. Yeah, Wythe is saying, not sure the Doom builders would have programmed rain.
But with all of the breathing and trees and everything, wouldn't there be a natural, those jarred
It rains wet smoke.
That makes perfect sense.
There would be moisture. Yeah.
I only need to know if there is something that I could squeeze into to climb invisibly to the roof.
Wet smoke is the visualization I have when I hear the word moist, like wet smoke. Yeah.
Exactly, Owen. Greenhouse humidity, there's some weirdness.
Yeah. Oh, Leo, what were you saying? What is WC doing?
I was asking this because I was imagining those pipes that get used to make the water at the top of the buildings go away. I have the word for it in Portuguese in my brain, but not the English one right now. I'm sorry.
I think like a gutter. Like a
gutter
pipe?
and then a draining pipe, and something that I could squeeze myself in to access the roof of the building unseen. I would like to know if there is such a thing.
Okay. And how are you all, like, are you standing around working a wrench on a thing and like looking at the building, or like how are you looking nondescript?
Hello, young lad. You look like you are tired from running your errands. Would you like some cured brain rat? That's Renee's delicacy.
So, welcome, Ethan. You were just asked on the street by a street vendor if you were interested in any what was it? Brain rat?
I said cured brain rat. I don't know if brain rats are very easy to acquire because they are hive minds.
That would be an exotic
flavored.
Somehow I have
on a stick. Is it on a stick? If it's on a stick, I'll take 3 right now.
Well, it's like I can put it on a stick.
Right.
You
Have
put
you
anything
been
on a stick.
a hawker of dubious meats before? How many guilder do I ask for in this scenario?
So Angero is just without prompting going to be handing you 2 the local equivalent to void guilders and not haggling at all. Just this is the local price for this dubious meat.
It's the correct amount.
So yeah, you get some cured brain rats on a stick.
Angero, who is looking a little, he always looks a little haggard, but it is looking pretty like a little sleepless right now, like a little more even disheveled than one would expect to see man on the street suddenly. But then, it all kind of comes together when he's hungrily devouring brain rat, cured meats without a napkin. It's like, thanks, I haven't eaten since last night. This is you don't even know how helpful this is. Thank you.
Happy to provide for fellow worker people.
It's so messed up that this is making me hungry.
Yes, it is.
It's really all about the sauce.
Yakitori.
It's all about the sauce.
It's like, yeah, we're all in this together. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, comrade.
WSC? Sorry. Leo.
Yeah,
what is your
I
name?
was thinking about Wythe and trying names and sadly realizing that Sonic Harry Potter Obama doesn't work.
Oh, it totally does. That's what you want your name to be? It makes sense given your shirt.
Obama.
Yeah.
I am Harry Potter Sonic Obama.
He just the hygienic non-handshake greeting. Angero takes off his vent mask a little bit, and so we can continue housing meat, and then keeps putting it back on again. He's like, what brings you out on this wet smoky night?
Before you answer,
gotta eat, and in my case, the way I get money to eat is providing edibles to others. This shakes a handful of xeno rodents hanging from the belt. Not really my thing, but I'm good at the preparation process.
I have to say I've eaten sweet meats all around this fine half of our city, and I gotta say this is some of the finer nondescript protein product that I've encountered. So once again, I thank you.
Are you being honest there? In character? Is your character
in
being
character?
honest?
No, absolutely not. This is terrible.
Okay.
It's edible. It's edible, and it's not going to make him sick. He sort of senses that, but it's just it is. There's something really off about the spices. Also, he's starting to suspect this is brain rat, like actual brain rat, and not the local name for just the pet name that people give meat on a stick.
Like how like
actual brain rat.
Crab rangoon is usually like fish
gummy.
Meat.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like, oh no, you're not supposed to actually put crab rangoon in the crab rangoon.
The Waytons just assume that the humans eating brain rat are eating actual brain rat.
I love that. They're just like, it's very, everything that they prepare for humans is very literal, which some gourmands like, but guy in the street does not. It's like, yeah, I've got my name's Andrew, Andrew Hall. I'm out here. God, what time of day is it? I've been.
It's let's say that it's a little later in the day, because the two of you had the three of you had to walk quite a ways to get to this part of town. Like it wasn't. There's no public transportation here that you could find, even though there technically is a lot of it. You just weren't able to find it, even though you had, you have the money for it now. And Ethan, we're gonna say that this is after the other stuff. The other stuff has happened.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're after that.
I've been I just got out of yesterday I got out of a moving vehicle with some comrades of mine on a very important Well, let's just say assignments, and well, I'm not gonna bore you with the unpleasantries. Let's just say I've walking the streets trying to put a bunch of disparate data together, and thought I'd do some light cartography while I was walking around, which brought me to this particular spot.
Casual map making.
Just
Would
just
me
a little
Sorry.
light surveying. Well, what?
Would me and Terry like clock that that Wilt is now talking to this person?
I was going to ask, what are the two of you doing? You're both kind of scoping the building, but you can see that your comrade is very clearly in a lengthy conversation with someone on the street.
With our walkies, would we be able to hear this? Would Wilt have his walkie on?
I don't know.
I think so, especially because it is a knee mounted under my apron. So
Okay. Sure. Okay, you can hear what's going on. That's fine.
So I would be. I'm at like some kind of like those mysterious boxes that you get on the street that you're like, there's something in there. Like
Yeah.
I'm at a mysterious box like with like a wrench or something,
Okay.
like doing something fake to it. And I am gonna into my walkie say, I think we should snatch this guy. And he sounds like he knows stuff.
I like that Rel's instinct is like, having endured like a rather traumatic experience the day before, she's like, let's invoke that trauma on someone else. That's how we're gonna regain my power here.
No qualms whatsoever.
Right.
Like, yeah, that actually was a good strategy for them. Maybe we should try that.
Terri is like in her disguise as a waste management professional. She's digging through the trash and seeing if there's anything interesting.
I think it would be really funny if you two were reversed and Rel was the one digging through the trash.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, it's
I might do
appropriate
that
this
later
way.
as well.
That would be stereotyping.
That's true. Yeah. My speciesists.
I'm fully picturing Rel as like a wrench in hand, like banging as if it was a hammer, but just completely using the wrong tool for what she is doing.
Gets the job done.
I want both of you to make me a charm. Give me a charm perform roll, and you can add your respective bonuses.
Yes.
This
No
isn't
one.
related to battlefield tactics or positioning by any chance, is it?
It is not yet. Not yet.
Cool. Just checking.
I'm guessing Kelly rolled something good.
I rolled a 12 and I have a +4, so that's a 16.
Yeah, this is the most
What?
convincing. You were digging through trash like you were a pro at it. It's like you've done this before.
This is what Qadida sanitation workers do.
That's
This is
just
like a
what they
standard
do.
thing. They just dig through trash.
You're sorting
they
out
don't
the
do anything.
recycling. You're separating the lights and the darks to make sure the trash gets cleaned right.
maybe
Yeah, it's not
also a
single
side
stream.
gig, like execution
Yeah,
is selling, bits in the past.
How about you, Ralph?
I wish
Yeah,
Ian
on
were
the
here
other
to
hand,
tell us
got a 5.
specifically how many thousands of years of trash you're actually digging through. Is this like
Yes.
just weeks? Is this like an ancient pylon?
What did you get, Rel?
I got 5.
Okay. So maybe the mysterious box that you're like working a wrench on doesn't actually have any bolts. So like you're doing a very convincing job of like working a bolt on there, but anyone who actually knew the mysterious box might be like, wait a minute. Okay, Angero. So what's going on with you here?
Well, Andro is looking around. I think at this point, like, is the rest of the party in visual range, or are they out of sight?
They're in visual range of a nearby building.
Okay.
How visible are both of you? I mean, obviously, Terri is presumably in a dumpster.
Yeah, I think Terri is like the gray jumpsuit has helped her just like, there's people where sometimes you see them and you know that they're there, but your mind like glazes over and you're like, that's not a person. Unfortunately, that's what's happening to her.
Okay.
This
then,
person is
so-
here, but they don't exist. It's like rich people seeing poor people or service workers.
I would say in
Um,
mechanical terms, you probably, unless you rolled very good on a will perceive, you probably just would have like add blindness for a person for Terri. Maybe not so much for Rel. You might have caught her out of your periphery.
Is Angero, who I'm conversing with,
Mhm.
do I detect any signs that they have equipment that makes them a person of interest, especially after Rel was like, maybe we should snatch him?
Why don't you give me a will perceive roll, and let's just see how open you are to like receiving things.
10.
Okay, a 10. All right. What does WC know about you, or what can he see about you, Ethan?
Well, I think that he definitely they definitely perceive that Andrew is telling the truth. Like, he has not slept in a while, or like, you know, he's basically been on his feet for a long time. And you know, this is not somebody like, you know, he's not putting on airs. He doesn't really give off the vibe of somebody who's tailing or tracing you. He really does seem to be like wrapped up in his stuff. So either he is a truly expert, you know, subterfuge kind of person, or is really just in this place right now trying to figure out some shit.
With your red strings and push pins, is that something you have like on your person? Like, how are you kind of manifesting that together for yourself?
Oh, you mean documentation?
Yeah, like how are you assembling that?
Always, Intro always has his you know, papers please neatly folded up and visible in his like wallet and satchel, but then also has at this point now he has a couple of other pins from various goings-ons, but he tends to wear them like directly on his lapel, just as like, no trouble here.
I mean with your
you know,
power.
what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
What?
I mean with your power, the maybe I'm getting the name wrong. The one with the red strings and that one. You had been using that
cork boards and red strings.
That's the one. Thank you.
What about it?
How does Andrew like how do they do that? Is it like you literally have like a little, do you have like a journal to yourself, or is it something you're carrying with you, or carrying a bulletin board?
Yeah. And Andrew has a field notebook, the one that he's now currently doing, as you put it, like, you know, light cartography, and it's like you know, it's supposed to be like a pocket journal, but it is it's thick and it's dog-eared and it's got tons of little pads in it. So it's like right now he is sort of half paying attention, half taking the mask off and eating terrible street meat, and then also then mostly just like scrivening in this like really kind of thick but small book.
Okay.
No visible weaponry at all, or it doesn't look
no
like
visible weaponry. You know, wearing a very large sort of like, not quite a great coat, but like it's, you know, it's down to his knees.
All right. And did I see where you came? I think that's an Aaron question. Did I see where Angelo came from? Did they come out of the building we're scoping out, or did he come out of somewhere else, an alley or whatever?
How would Andrew have left the building that you were in previously? Would you have left through the front or a rear entrance or elsewhere?
He would have left through like a side or rear entrance. He tends to just like, you know, he's either man on the street or he's in some place people don't tend to notice is coming and going deliberately.
Okay. So he would have come out of like Leo, he would have come in an alleyway or something, maybe around a corner, not out of the entrance you've been casing.
All right.
Would Andrew, since you have your field notes book out and you were like using that, is it possible that WSC would have caught glimpse of any of the pages at all while you were removing your mask? Like maybe just like a word or like a diagram or anything at all?
Yeah, that would be interesting to do.
He rolled a 10 on a perceive roll. That's why I'm asking.
So it's possible. I think that, like, you know, Andrew is usually careful about stuff like this, but he hasn't slept in almost, 2 days. And I'm assuming, Leo, your Wythe is rather tall, as they typically are. So it'd probably be easy to just like see down, and I don't think that like seeing text backwards upside down is difficult for a wetted mind. So it's all the same. So he definitely caught a glimpse of something, and it would probably be like really, really boring text, or like about like infrastructure or sewage systems, or just relative distances, like building, like really just dry. But like there might have been like a glimpse of something more important, like the word health science like crossed out, or like biotech weapon ...
Okay. Can I consider that I just got fragments of stuff moving and shifting as he removed his mask? Could I make a reason roll to try to detect anything that pertains to the neighborhood? Because I wouldn't know much
Sure.
about
What do you wanting to know?
That's here.
What are you wanting to know about the neighborhood?
I'm just thinking if out of anything that I see in the papers, anything jumps to my eye as something that's related to this region that could be useful to me. Since it's about infrastructure and stuff like that, like maybe some holes on the floor that I could slink in if I need to.
I don't think you saw enough on the journal, on the field notes to get anything actionable. I would say maybe with the small amount that was revealed to you, you think maybe this is at least a person of interest, but perhaps not the significance of who this person is.
All right. Oh, that seems like a lot of complicated civic infrastructure research. Who do you do this for? It does not appear to me like a hobbyistic pursuit.
Leo, I'm going to need you to roll a charm perform roll for me.
Okay, I did literally sell meat to him, so that should be one.
You did, but you're starting to ask questions that are maybe not the kinds of things you would talk about as a seller of. Well, I guess I've never met a seller of brain rat meat.
That
but
person tells me they're a programmer. What company? Charm.
Yeah.
Okay, 6.
6. Okay.
Better than I thought you'd get.
Yeah,
So-
but I think I would be rolling against.
Yeah, Ethan, if you would like, you may have Angero roll a will perceive, or like just a will check vibes, to get a sense of. That was kind of a weird question.
Yeah, so I just did 2 things.
Okay.
I rolled will, and it was a 4.
Okay.
And then I also used my passive power, which is knows the files, in which I use the knowledge of the facts to catch people in lies. I rolled a reason instead of a will in addition, but that was a 1. So Andrew is clearly exhausted to the point of not clocking his 6s. He is again. So he is not very suspicious of this very suspicious question by a street vendor who. So Andrew's like, I dabble. I work on this and that and it sort of like warms up. It's like, so I've got this sort of pet project of mine. I really have this dream of one day. And he looks out at like the stars and like the glimpse of like the little like the semi-visible panels of the dome, and like it's like I really dream of mapping this city. It's so dense and it's so secretive and so old. I really would love if we could have I don't know, like a brochure or something. You just here. The visit, just make a lot of the mysteries of the city a little more visible, just for visitors, for ourselves. I feel like it would go a long way towards civic union, so to speak.
Terri, what are you and Rel doing right now? You can hear all of this through the comms.
I can hear all of this. Man, I really just want to disappear this guy and just pick him apart like a bug. I want to put him under a microscope and be like, what
I
made
am
you this way?
offended by the analogy.
Oops.
Why are you like this?
How tired or drunk are you?
What is your damage, man?
I think maybe the brain rat meat gave you just a little like it's like when you sometimes eat, tiramisu. There's a little bit of residual alcohol in there, and you're
you're
like,
just a little punch drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you were already a little
probably the
punch drunk.
mouthfeel. Yeah, like the mouthfeel of it is like surprisingly mellow, and it lasts. And it's like, oh yeah,
It's fermented.
Wasted something. I don't know what that something was.
Yeah,
It spent some time in the briefcase.
What else is in that briefcase?
Okay, so Terri, if you're wanting to make a move here, describe that to me.
Okay. So Terri is a very friendly little thing, and she basically okay, here's what I'm thinking. I want to get this guy in the alley and be like, sir, I need some help with this trash. I just need someone with big strong arms, and look, you really got it. I don't want to talk to this little fucking string bead guy over here, but I need some help moving this thing from point A to point B. Can you help me out?
Okay, I need you to make a charm perform roll. You can add your
Okay.
bonus.
Yes.
And then Ethan, you're gonna have Andro roll probably like a will perceive, unless you think there's a better one. You could use your check the files one if you wanted.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use knows the files again, and well, I mean, let me actually double check this.
Would you?
Okay.
Would your?
I think no. I'm gonna roll a reason check.
I just rolled another 12, and I cannot tell you. I rolled another 12. I have a +4 and also a +1.
I'll tell you, Angero, who has so far kill shotted most recent checks in this game, just rolled a 2. So this is all working really well with this character narrative at the moment, because he is just like, go ahead and Buffalo Bill him.
Exactly.
Where you're going and pretend to be trying to sell food to Terri as well. Like, yeah. I see you are gearing up to perform some physical exertion.
Okay, so what happens here?
Angero isn't the strongest cat in the world, but is pretty like barrely. So he just like grabs whatever you hand him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, sure, comrade. Yeah. I just gotta get back to
I feel like Terri is very much like flattering you at the same time and being like, "Oh my god, you're just look at those arms. Oh my god." And then I would kind of want Rel to come up behind and use that wrench that she's been hammering away at that box.
In the middle of the street.
So I want to say
in an alley.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say that I've been slowly coming round so that I'm like behind Angero, and I've been like mouthing to the other guys like, "Snatch him. Go on. Just snatch him. He's not right." But then Terri obviously had a better plan. So I've just been
who now?
But yeah, if we get into the comparative quiet of the alley, then sure. I'm not going to use. Oh no, will I use my wrench? Am I actually? Are we trying to take him out? Like, I just thought we were going to grab him, steal his journal, and then try and question him. You want him unconscious?
Just for ease of portability.
All right. Okay. So I should.
He's wearing like a plastic half helmet. So I doubt you're gonna knock him unconscious.
I mean, I have concussion grenades.
Oh my god.
I think
that'll definitely
the other side of things.
I start taking out one of my concussion grenades, and I'm like, I'm motioning to.
How does that?
Andrew doesn't see any of this. He is busy being flattered by Gelasti.
I'm like, should I?
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna say you're probably gonna have to just make a decision about how you want to do this, Rel, because I think that for Terri to maintain her con here. Yeah, she has to stay focused on it. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question then. I would surely know this about my own grenades.
Yeah.
Like if one of them goes off in this alley, is that going to alert everyone else that's like out on the street?
Big time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's concussion through like basically a sonic boom flaring
How
outward. Very
busy
quickly.
is this area right now?
Yeah.
I mean, you're
That's a
right
good question.
by the building that you believe contains YTS and their security
Right.
checkpoint. Someone's going to notice if you detonate a concussion grenade.
You guys really want to do it?
Him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish the quiet.
Like
If Wilt wants to go in for a grapple, then I will take the hint and start putting my grenade away.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to do it, go for it.
Disappointedly.
Yeah. Let's see. If you just want to initiate the grapple, I'll let you start it off that, and then we'll go into initiative.
Yeah, because in theory, like, he's not suspicious
Is that-
of me.
is that fair, Ethan? Do you think it's
Not
fair?
of the slightest. All the rolls are just maximum gullibility at this moment in time.
Okay. I mean, do you think that's fair, Ethan, for Andro's current state of mind?
Yeah, totally.
That-
I mean, the numbers say that he will not see this coming in any way,
Okay.
shape, or form, even with his ambient spy powers.
Alrighty. I'm burning 3 grit, so I'm rolling D12 plus 4.
We really needed a win, Ethan, so I appreciate this.
13.
Yes.
Oh well, it's happy to contribute the fickle finger of fate to this moment in time.
What did you say you rolled, Leo?
13.
A 13. Okay, awesome.
That's great.
We did need a win.
Yeah.
We really do.
This is going better than
It's been a rough session so far.
Yeah.
No,
last
but just
session was
compared to
rough.
last session.
We've achieved
Okay.
very little.
So, Ethan, you can make a move dodge. I'm gonna say, unless you think that you'd have a reason otherwise, I'm gonna say you probably a disadvantage here.
Okay, so Angero's move is a D6, so it'd be D6 minus 1.
Sure.
Okay. Or whatever you had in mind.
Yeah, no, a D6 minus 1 seems fine.
Squeedly bop, so that would be a 5.
Okay. And what did you roll, Leo?
I
Your
got
grapple?
13.
13. Okay. Yeah, I would say that you are your towering weight and form.
Yeah, you've got like 2 heads on Andrew and
You're-
4 arms.
you're going
And Andrew
to-
isn't seeing it coming.
To
So.
help out Terri, and then suddenly the white and pink hand comes from behind, and you're about to scream, and your mouth gets stuffed with cured xeno meats, and you're
Oh,
and you can
God, that's
smell
really
the
gross!
metallic
Oh my God!
blood. And I just lean next to your head and go, I would not risk becoming one of my wares. Do not move.
Andrew, you were just
Yes.
reminded again how awful the sauce blend and spice blend is on this cured brain rat meat.
Yeah, it's like this is. He did not see a Wet and Sweeney Todd thread.
Right.
coming. He's just like, yeah. So now his mouth is just absolutely jaw-stretchingly packed with like this disgusting meat. He's just like, okay, I'm gonna. He's thinking to himself like, yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. I might, before anything else happens, I might choke to death on this terrible, terrible food.
Yeah, and there is the threat coming with it as you smell the.
It's a double
blood.
threat. Yeah, just it's overpowering. It's like it's not chloroform, but it's disgusting.
Yeah. All right. So if you're not resisting, we don't have to enter initiative. But what are the two of you doing, Terri and Rel?
I want to snatch his journal, and depending on what the role is, like I don't know if it would be like investigation or perception or what, but like I want either me or Terri to like look through it quickly
Okay.
to see what we can glean from it.
Yeah.
What did they learn? Is this? Do you write in like a code, or is it?
Yeah,
plain text,
so there are sections that are very clearly like the local inflection of spin standard, and there's others that are just complete like shorthand. It doesn't look ciphered, but it looks like a lot of this is like in like a reporter's speed writing.
What can they surmise just from a casual glance, unaided?
So if they're quickly glancing through the book right now, there's chunks of it that are just like they look like tables and they seem almost indecipherable, and there's a bunch of like maps that are like he was not lying. This is a cartographic, like it is there's notes about like brickwork and piping and whatever. But then like if you flip to the, I'm assuming like the latest pages, there was that section. There seems to be a list of potential, like it just suddenly gets very like actiony, and it's speaking about like health science, which is crossed off, biotech, like weaponry question mark, booby trap check, and then there's another line that says tell him to trust no one, and then a check mark next to it, and, and then
well, that's sorted.
Yeah, and then there's also very copious details about the street level of this particular building.
Okay.
Like the actual notes for it are in this like very hard to decipher shorthand, but like it is a very clear map of like the street level of the building that we're in front of right now.
Okay.
So I would say as soon as I see tell him, I would be like, him who's him?
Did you pausing here 1 second? Did Angero hear anything from like the Night Watch or any of the Free Qadidan organizations about the like alleged attackers?
Yes and no. So there's no notes in the notebook about the alleged attackers. But like, trust no one. There is a list of like factions.
Yeah.
Which would be familiar to anyone. And like there's none of them are crossed off.
Okay.
Like including Free Qadida.
Does Angero know that one of the attackers was Effects?
Angero does not. This is actually new information. So if that was,
I'm not saying that it is.
So yeah, out of Angero's character head, never heard that.
Cool. Okay, continue. Sorry.
I would just immediately demand who is this you're talking about? Tell who to trust no one.
Andrew is like looking around and like trying to like get one hand.
You can scratch it.
Oh yeah, we can. I'll like claw some of the brain rat out of his mouth so you can speak.
Now you have to add less hands salt in your mouth.
Yeah, like
my little hands could get right in there.
So now he's got like
I think
Feck's garbage covered French hands.
I think we offer Angelo the ability to write a name, or maybe, as I said, scratch it in the dirt with his foot, because I don't want him to be able to speak.
Actually,
so he's like got one hand pinned and pulls his, I guess, one of many pens out of a pocket and sort of like is looking up at the weapon over his claw hand and is writing down like YTS.
Can I since I'm an empath, can I check and make sure that he's not lying? I have advantage related to sensing motives and detecting lies. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, Andrew does not have any particular sort of like emotion cloaking powers or skill set. So yeah, you can sense that. He's also freaked out right now. So his emotions are really on the top half of his face.
Excellent. What's your connection to YTS? How do you know him?
I think with a mouthful of food, he's going to have trouble answering complicated questions.
He starts and it's gross and just like spitting sounds and everything. But
I think we prioritized snatching him away before we get into more questioning. Once he's in a secure location, I have medical snot.
I would like to point out that...
Please explain medical snot.
The medical snot is... my description that I have here is that snot cannot generally be done in combat because it requires 6 rounds to dry. But once it does, it restrains motion until dissolved using a special solvent. And you need a really, really high check.
I'm actually really surprised I haven't illustrated that yet. Okay. So disgusting. It's so in my wheelhouse. Okay. So are you going to try and drag Andrew, or just like tell him to just not fight back, or what's the deal?
If you want to take Andrew to a secondary location, that's fine, but you're going to risk losing your track on YTS. You know that I mean, you don't have any reason to think that YTS has left this building yet.
Mhm.
However, should you go somewhere else to interrogate Angero, you'll have to roll track again.
Does he fit in the
I-
dumpster or the mystery box?
Oh no, he's under
Probably not the mystery
less
box.
than 6 feet tall. So
I had kind of imagined that we were behind the dumpster, but I feel like we could probably threaten him into not like yelling.
Yeah, I feel like we can, since we're all hanging out behind a dumpster. Super normal for Rel and Terri to like be in an alley anyway, and I feel like WSC can kind of, bend itself around Angero and just be like, a waiting cage.
Anyone asks, I'm hunting for more meat.
Oh, nasty. I love it.
Man, Qadida's a really grim city.
I love it.
This session has gotten particularly gross. Yeah.
Yeah, so at this point, Andrew is sort of like getting, he's exhausted and also sees the writing on the wall with this one and is not at the moment fighting back. He's also kind of he in a lot of ways like this, there's been a lot of eventful things that have happened, but like there are certain aspects of the situation that are still kind of like really bugging him, and this is the first like kind of real encounter physically with somebody. He's like he doesn't know, are you guys the assassins? Is like what's happening here. So Angelo is just sort of like, he wants to see where this is going. This might actually lead to stuff on his end, whether that's overconfidence about his safety or not. So he is at the moment not resisting and just sort of like going along with us. He's might like be doing some perfunctory like grappling to make it look really good, but is not. He doesn't have the intent of trying to escape at the moment.
We could ask questions that are answerable with a yes or no.
That I'll give you that. Yeah, if you want to do that, that's fine.
He can reach one hand pinned like from his arm, like up or down.
Are you authorized to enter the building?
Right. Well,
listen, we're concerned about the safety of YTS. We want to make sure that no one can interrupt the speech tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and roll me a con on that one.
I'm going to burn 4 grit and use the power con.
That is also fine.
Okay, because just so everyone is aware, tell a lie. Everyone believes it. No trek required. This is not a weird power and won't work forever if the lie is unreasonable or can be disproved, but it will allow you to fool anyone briefly. Clearly, what we're doing is very briefly interrogating this lovely man. Okay, anyway, I'm taking that 4 grit off.
Intro, do you have...
question
Yeah.
on the lie power. Is a check able, or is it cancel out any counter roll?
There's no counter roll. I just tell you a lie.
He's going with it. He's like, all right, I'm not in a position to counter this.
So I would say, like, just for this exchange right now, you believe what Terri is saying. Yeah.
Yeah, there's if we go into like longer discussions, I feel like it gets less improbable that you would believe it. There's more chance for that, but for right now, if we keep it short and sweet, we probably will.
Just one of those like technically it's the truth kind of things. Like as long as like with this particular assertion, like you believe it.
We're really just trying to make sure that everything goes off without a hitch tomorrow.
We're
in our way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Angelo is mumbles back like, yeah, like same here.
Of course.
Do you suspect YGS? Do you suspect Yellow Tent Shavers security to be compromised?
Andrew, he actually like takes a moment to think about this, and then shakes his head no. but then like it stops again, and he shows that Angero is very bad at yes no questions. He is prevaricating around at a moment in time where like a lot of his like long held beliefs have been thrown into like noirish question, and so he's like, no, that's not compromise, but I don't like. There's something like he points to his mouth. He's like, can you like get the?
Will you be cooperative and help us out here?
Yeah, he mumbles and nods. Yes.
All right, bulby fingers go into your mouth and start pulling out.
Like, yeah,
you've had so many hands in your mouth. I'm really sorry.
Just gonna take yeah, so he starts like finally his mouth is unpacked and he's like spitting out the rest of it, and it's just like
really sorry about this, friend. We're just trying to be.
I bet, yeah. It's like I have 57 robotic rabbits living my part right now, and this is far more disgusting than that.
Now I want to know more about that, but
doesn't matter. Just don't think about it.
That's a story for another time.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm sorry. What was your goddamn question again?
What's your connection to YTS?
We got a lot of well, it's complicated. It's like we are, I like any good citizen of Qadida want, we want to see what's going on without a hitch. So my connection is simply that I'm a concerned citizen, helping keeping him safe.
So you don't have any connection to YTS at all?
So Andrew is definitely going to be rolling a charm on this one to lie. He is saying like, well, my connection is not really there. I mean, which is sort of true, but like, I don't know. There's definitely been some connections happening.
I would like to.
Yeah, he's gonna roll 3 good on this charm roll. Wow. So that was great. Grand total of 4. I'm
gonna roll.
I'm so sorry, Ethan. The dice are not with
Yeah,
you.
no, it's great. Are you kidding?
So I have advantage.
This
So we'll
to me
see.
In this game.
I might roll less than a 4. It's very possible. Okay,
No.
First one is a 9. So
That's
second one is also a 9. That's really weird. I'm sorry.
It's hilarious. I appreciate it though. Like the dice doing this because like his worldview has been pulverized. His sense of justice has been shattered. He hasn't slept in 2 days. So
Right.
Yep, he's just going with the flow. He's clearly sleep deprived and probably now like very lately poisoned from meat glaze. And I don't know, whatever is on Feck's hands.
Are you on one of those like I think they're called Teddit forums where you're like a citizen detective?
Yeah, that's the simplest explanation. What I do, I'm connected with Free Qadida. Although I gotta say, and then he trails off.
What?
Oh, okay. When we asked you if Yellow Tent Shaver's security was compromised, you kind of had a what's the answer that you would have given us that that we didn't let you tell us earlier?
He's reaching. He's trying to like get his breather mat. He's native Qadidan and needs his cybernetic attachment. So he's like trying to point to his like little vent mask and like, can you just put it on the?
Of course.
Yeah. So he gets it put on and he takes a deep breath and then he says, "Well, I don't know. So we've done, and he says we, and he's then like changes from we to I. Like I've done checks, double checks, triple checks, bomb checks. It's like everything seems safe as houses. Something's just not right, and I can't put my finger on it. I can't. Been walking around all day and all night. It's safe. We've done our due diligence. Like something just isn't right, and then I don't." And then he just trails off again.
Mm-hmm.
This feeling has to have come from somewhere.
Well, we're really putting the finger on, him, telling him that it's not right.
Yeah. So
What
okay.
does-
So you saying that out loud and hearing it, like, Angero nods emphatically. It's like, yeah, I'm glad. He doesn't know who you are. He doesn't know what, but he assumes that you're, one of the like other teams involved with this. He doesn't know, whether. So far, he's believing everything that you say.
We're other citizen detectives.
Yeah. So not just another fine citizen detective who you are, looking at your badging. So okay, this is Aaron, I've got kind of a rules breaky question.
Sure.
I'm pushing something to the limit. So Angero has a power called Catch a Bigger Fish, where you capture a known suspect and you can either interrogate or talk to them, but then you do a catch and release and you can observe them afterwards. Is it possible to do this power on yourself?
Oh, like you turn over someone else to save your own skin?
But yeah, like by doing a deliberate catch and release, is it possible to then get a bead on your captors afterwards? Or is that really kind of stretching it to its limit?
Like topping from the bottom, like you're the spot and you're like
weird.
It's really sure. He's already he's already been like basically like kidnapped. So why not like throw it onto the pile?
What's your goal here? What are you aiming to do? This sounds
Andrew
plausible.
totally believes in what he's saying, but it's like he is just hungry for information. Like that's his job. That's what he's been assigned to do.
Okay.
He is worried that he is not keeping YTS safe, and it's just sort of like, and now he believes everything that you guys are saying, but like wants to just. It's not about like suspicion. It's really just like wants to know more. Like he doesn't have enough data, and that's his job.
Okay.
Can I pitch here? He wants to join our team.
Yeah. Okay. God, okay. This is going to be really interesting here in a second. Okay, yeah, sure. If you want to join the team, I mean, this seems fine.
Yeah, we seem like we're. I mean, tell me what you think, Ethan. But if you are trying to do something solo, wouldn't you rather do that thing with someone else and be like, okay, these people kind of know what they're doing. Maybe I can help them out in some way.
I think he'd be down for that. I think that given his class, that he would be also like of two minds about it. Like 100% being like, for the moment, like this team is still off doing investigations on their own and like security checks, and then I think that he would be like, yes, like, but they're all busy. We can do twice as much work. So I don't think it's about abandoning his team. It's simply about like agreeing to everything that you're saying, but then also sort of like split mind.
Right.
Like, this is going to help us out too. So I think maybe he's going to, I don't know if that requires the lie about being like, sure, I'd love to join you. I don't think that he's like being a parent that he's going to like betray somebody or anything. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to join team, whatever this is, and see where this goes.
I think that even if you have ulterior motives, I think you can provide a surface level lie that is at least seems truthful. Like, okay. Technically the truth. Everyone is dealing with technically the truth here, so that's kind of par for the course.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Andrew says like, sure. I gotta say, I'm not sleeping well these days. I feel like I can be pretty productive if I just sort of see what's up with you. So let's small talk. What's your business in the city? What's your plan? Where are you dragging me?
Well, we're just having this dumpster convo. We don't want to drag you anywhere. We want to make sure that YTS is kept safe.
Well, that's good.
As you say that,
I have a possible lie to sell here, which is, how sometimes companies and organizations require individuals to on purpose attempt to break their security in order to learn of what the weaknesses are.
Yes.
It has been common practice since the heyday of Terran capitalism.
As you're saying this, you hear the earlier WSC, when you were kind of scoping out the entrance, and maybe the other two of you heard this as well. Every time the door opened or closed, there was like a small beeping noise. You hear that, and you hear people emerge the building. Who's standing closest to the street?
I think that would probably be me because I'm obstructing vision.
Yeah, you're doing the whole cage wetting thing, trying to
Okay.
block views.
You see, did you all see the dossier on what YTS looked like? How specific do you know his appearance?
We don't know anything about his appearance, I don't
You-
think.
Other than as a waiting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You see a waiting and 3 guards leaving the building.
Ooh.
Yeah, like what? Well, are we seeing that as well? Do we need to wait for if will like motion?
I would say that WSC sees it first. Do you do anything about that?
Sorry. Can Angero see it all past the alleyway? Does he like hear or perceive any of this?
You
Or
hear
can he see the street?
You hear the door beep, and you hear YTS's voice because you talked with him. You talked with him before.
Yeah.
You know what he sounds like. He's having a small, like, just polite conversation with one of the people escorting him. He's leading.
So I guess my question is Angero now fully trusting of this group, or like
you tell me?
That's a real. I mean, I think I'm going to have to actually roll for that.
Yeah.
I guess this would once again be because he's a hook. This would be a reason check. So I'm going to run a D10, and I'm going to burn 3 grit.
Okay. I think that, like, based on your dice rolls so far, I would say that up to this point, you've been like the fall guy, you know, and like you've fallen for all of their words and everything.
Yeah.
This is definitely like a razor moment, though. So if you want to make a special check for just this, you can like read into their instantaneous response, etc.
Yeah, that's actually so instead of just doing a flat reason check, I think that, you know, Angero, because he can't see the street and hears this, like wants to look at their faces, and I guess Effect's face would be closest to being sort of mammalian, not really, but like sort of looks at Fex's like face really quickly at a glance to see how Fex reacts to this voice, who he suddenly knows is YTS, and he's not looking over or anything. He's just sort of clocking the voice without making a motion.
None of them know YTS's voice, so they only heard someone leave the building. So their reactions wouldn't be one of like familiarity or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to see how Angero reacts, because I see a Wythe coming out and speaking, and if Angero knows the Wythe.
Which way is Angero facing? I was assuming Angero was facing away from the street towards the alleyway.
Yeah, I think you guys like blocked off view to try and do this interrogation. At least that's how I read it.
Yeah, and I'd pictured like behind the dumpster, like against the wall.
Yeah, like you're bullying him like for his lunch money.
Yeah, and if WCS is like doing the weight and cage, I feel like his head, depending on weight and physiology, I feel like it would have tilted and kind of like peered around.
Sure.
And especially with like how nasty a blooder is, he kind
big
of could
compound eyes.
Yeah.
Compound eyes were one of them would be like.
All right, what's Angero's take on this?
Angero's take is going to wait a beat.
Okay.
He is giving off no emotional signals at all that he recognizes this voice. His face is totally in the same position. He's like trying to be as passive and unknowing visibly as possible.
It's like a Western standoff here.
Western standoff. Okay.
Is this a contested role?
Nobody's contesting anything.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Okay,
Aaron?
so yes, you can. Go ahead.
So were we stipulated at all when we had to perform this hit or elimination? Like, are we able to do that today? Do we need to wait till tomorrow?
All they said was to prevent it from happening, preventing the thing from happening. And they said that like he will be in public at that time because they didn't know his exact location, but y'all figured it out through the magic of Twitter
beforehand. Yeah.
Politics is happening.
Okay, so if everyone's waiting a beat, I am allowing this group to move away from the door a little bit. They are now like maybe rounding the corner and getting away from you.
So do me and Terri now clock this as well? Because Wilt was first to see it, but like we can't do anything if we can't see it, right? Or hear.
Yeah, I mean, Wilt hasn't said anything, right? Nobody's communicated anything. The only person who actually knows what just happened is Angero.
Mhm.
And Angero has done nothing because they were waiting to see what you all did.
I might have a way to keep track of the Wilted shaver.
Angero, I would say, as a person who is very reason-oriented, it would be logical to think that if they were actually interested in protecting YTS, they would know what his voice sounded like. And also, they probably would have, knowing that you were trying to also protect them, they probably would have released you and then gone over and, grouped up or something. Or there would have been some kind of thing. They clearly didn't know whose voice that was.
Right, and that's like, I think that through the haze of meat and exhaustion, it's finally starting to burble up that like, okay, and so his prime directive at this point is to, uphold the his duty regardless of how he feels about it at this moment in time, and I think he's suddenly in a flash, like he tenses up. And is anybody in the group armed right now? Like visibly?
Baby, I am a weapon.
He's not asking you in character.
I guess not visibly.
Not visibly? Okay.
Yeah, not visibly. Yeah, I definitely have some things, but not.
We were specifically disguising ourselves, right? So it would be in bags and pockets. And
I guess you
like
have wrenches, right? You said you had wrenches.
I
Those
have
are technically
a wrench,
weapons.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the only weapon I have on me is concealable.
Yeah.
Is Angero currently like grappled still, or has he been in mucosified, or
not?
You can't talk. I'm still on you.
Yeah,
you're still
just the grapple.
Okay. Well, while he's grappled, Angero is trying to reach down into his little belt like loop in the back, where he keeps a collection of cheap spin-made bombs and a stun grenade, and is trying to grip one and release it right next to everybody. I don't know if that would be visible or possible in this grapple position. So Aaron, tell me.
Make me a move check.
This ain't gonna go well.
Like I would feel him moving for sure.
Okay. Yeah, WC, make me a comm roll opposing. So Ethan, Angero is initiating this like kind of, you're trying to maneuver yourself to get that thing from your person. I'm gonna say you're the initiator. So if there is a tie, you will win the tie, but you do have to win this check, this post roll.
Got it. So this ain't gonna go well. So yeah, I think this is a D6 I'm rolling for my movement. Excuse me. Yeah. And then I'm burning 3 grit along with it. So let's see how this goes. Oh, that's a 9. It's the first good roll of the day.
What'd you get, WSC?
11.
Oh, so close. So it's like his finger is reaching towards the trigger cache on it. He was just gonna like release it on his belt.
All right, and then WC, he's trying to do something here. Like that was a very like he made an intentional movement.
You can like feel it.
Given that I just pulled I don't know if it's the same thing, but I just pulled my concussion grenades out and put them back. Would Wilt then recognize that this is like similar or the same thing?
That's like a D17 9 concussion. I know that trigger sound anywhere.
I don't think, because you didn't actually remove it from your belt or anything. You were trying to remove it and
he wasn't trying to remove it. He was just trying to set it off on his person.
Yeah.
Like, so I would say that
increases. I want to deal damage with this crush and point out that he's trying to reach for something in his pocket.
Okay.
Surreptitiously.
Make a combat roll. And then I guess Ethan, have Angero roll, I guess, an opposed combat roll.
Oh, sure.
And I'm not sure how to do damage on a malignant
strike.
grapple. Yeah.
Well, I lost this one. I'm back to my my days.
Oh, no.
It's another natural one. So
Angero, oh.
it's real. It's just hard. Angero's hard luck diary. Just
I have to check out the unarmed damage because I'm not in a form that lets me deal my combat die with unarmed.
Normally
but I
it's
rolled a total
D2
of
normally.
6.
D2 is normal unarmed damage.
All right, so let me roll up.
Which
Okay.
I think it's fitting here. What did you roll?
yeah, that seems reasonable.
The D2 I got a 1,
Okay.
so there is a bit of damage, and he really can't reach the thing. And I motion for one of my friends
Yeah,
to acquire
like-
what he's trying to reach
It's
for.
unpleasant.
So just it's an unpleasant sensation. Both his arms, I guess, have now been hurt. I'll take the health points off. And, you said it was 1 damage.
Yeah,
Okay.
Terri, acquire the items in his pocket, please.
Sorry about this.
Terri, you and Fex have
I
both.
don't think you are.
We're in quasi initiative right now. Like I'm not ordering things, but you all are getting like 1 action each, and as you're making actions, YTS is moving away.
I feel like at this point, given that we've heard someone leaving,
Mhm.
and then we see this guy trying to do something to interrupt our little scene here.
Mhm.
I think that Terri could make the reasonable assumption that this person who's interested in protecting YTS is trying to interfere from us doing anything further.
Mhm.
Would I be able to make the leap from point A to possibly point C, where we're trying to, do something? He's clearly trying to make us not do that thing. Thus, the thing that we're trying to do is getting away.
I think you just should commit to either pursuing and rolling the dice on that, or furthering this action here in this engagement. Choose one or the other, and then I think you will learn what you need to know from that.
Guys, I think we got to make a move.
So what is Terri going to do here?
I'm going to...
I think we quiet this one permanently.
Oh, no.
I don't know if we can. So, like, that's I don't know how we're doing in terms of hurting each other's characters. So I just gotta ask. It could be just unconsciousing him, but I don't want Angero to lead this walking and alert people.
Yeah, you can do whatever.
Out of character,
This is out of. I'm just giving safety alerts for characters, but yeah, this is a Nor.
Table talk wise, Ethan has been prepped for this. We have a line on no physical torture, but otherwise, like, we're good.
I mean, but that doesn't include being bumped on the head or exploded.
Yeah, then like
murdering.
Yeah,
is fine.
I'm
his character.
theoretically.
Murdering's fine.
Yeah, I would happily knock someone out and stuff them
Bonk.
somewhere. Yeah,
Stick a concussion grade in their mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so my thought is, for my action, I would give the two of them the look and be like, I'm going to follow, stay in calm.
Okay.
And then I would scurry.
Sure.
So does Angero get 1 action in this loop, or is it party only?
I think your action was attempting. I started it with you attempting to pull the pin on your stun grenade.
Got it.
And then Leo's action was was like crushing you with the combat roll. And then now Rel will get an action, and then we'll start over again.
So
Okay.
mechanically,
Did Terri
for
get the
us to,
grenade?
sorry, Leo, go on.
Just a question. Did Terri get the grenade from him as I asked?
No,
Before
Terry's action was going to be breaking off from our thing, giving you guys the look and saying, we got to go. And then her action was breaking off and starting to follow insofar as she could.
Yeah, so mechanically, can I ask, if we are trying to knock out another character, are we just trying to get their health to 0?
If you're just trying to knock them out, like put them unconscious, I don't think you have to make them prone. there's like you have him restrained. I'm sure you can bash him against the head repeatedly till he gets knocked out. And I mean, you could. I'll let you roll a resist roll on that if you want, Angero. But
at this point, is pretty. It's not going to take very long.
Yeah. If you're just trying to subdue him, then we can make some resist rolls for you to see how long you can stay conscious.
I mean, this turns into like a Homer Simpson style, like repeatedly being bonked on the head and just being like, "Ow, don't eat, and not
exactly.
I would almost feel like we can just do a roll for
Sure
being bonked unconscious rather than.
I mean, you're helpless. So at this point, like we don't have to belabor it or anything. We can just say you can put him under if you want. I just need to know where everyone's committing their efforts.
And you said we're going to go around one more time depending for actions. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, it's my turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think Rel is with Terri basically, and is like, okay, we need to deal with this now as quickly as possible so that we can stay on YTS. So, I'm gonna go in with the wrench, I guess. Like, I don't really have anything else. Like I could shoot you with like a hand crossbow, but again, that's just gonna do damage. Like, and it's not necessarily concussive. Or would it be? Could I try
anyways?
Would theoretically, if I've like a hand crossbow, right, that's concealable like a pistol, if I try to do that to his head with this helmet on, could that conceivably be concussive?
I mean, that'll definitely be concussive.
Anything is a club if you
that'll happen pretty definitely. Beyond that, I think that's a roll.
Yeah, so I think I'll do that then.
Okay.
It has a range of 10 meters, so that should be fine. But I'm going to try and position myself, behind the dumpster to make sure I'm not visible while I'm doing this.
Wait, are you trying to bash him in the head with the crossbow, or are you trying to shoot him with it?
Oh no, I was going to shoot him with it, but that's why I was asking. I don't know if that's...
Are you executing him, or?
I think she wanted to ring him like a bell.
Yeah.
Shoot on
he's wearing a helmet, right?
What you say?
This is great.
Confirmation that we can just knock him out.
You can just
I think if that's the intent, there are
helmet and go really close.
He's helpless. Yeah. You tell me if you want him dead or if you want him.
No, I just want him unconscious.
Okay, then
so should I use the wrench or the crossbow?
Probably the wrench.
Probably the wrench. Yeah, a concussion's more likely.
You're already using it like a hammer instead of a wrench, so I don't think that needs to be like any sort of skill check.
Angero, what is your final move before falling unconscious?
Oh, his final move before going unconscious, he shouts, "Run!"
Okay, that's fine.
Can I try to prevent it? I'm squeezing the air out of his lungs here.
I think he can get a run out loud enough. I'm gonna allow it.
It sounds bad, but
yeah.
But it's
meanwhile, Terri is briskly walking.
Terri, you've closed the gap. They weren't running previously. You are close enough. You have eye contact. And I think up this close, like you're 90% sure this is YTS. He does have armed guards with him.
I'm still in garbage girl mode.
Mm-hmm.
Normal
awesome.
thing to say.
So you just heard run, and it was Angero's voice. You know that for sure.
I want to look scared and look like someone said run. Oh no!
Drop your button, run. Okay. What are you gonna do this round?
I want to, by all appearances, like if I'm in garbage girl mode, I found a push broom from somewhere, and I want to like throw up my hands and be like, "Oh no!"
Okay. And are you gonna do anything?
No, because I want to make the appearance of I'm just a helpless little girl. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. Give me a charm perform roll, and you can add your bonus to this in character.
Okay. Okay, so a 5 plus 1, 6, and then plus 4, so that's 10.
Okay. If that becomes relevant, I'll tell you. WOC and Rel, what are you both doing?
I think the plan is Rel knocks him unconscious, and I Manacle snot him in the dumpster.
Okay.
Because then
How long does that last?
Well, it takes 6 rounds to make it
Take
stick,
effect.
right?
6 rounds I
So-
can like get running after
6
After
rounds,
Terri.
they might be long gone.
Mm-hmm. That's my concern.
But will
Wait,
they
sorry,
be
it
out
takes
of
6
3
rounds to
kilometers
cast,
in
or-
relation to me?
I think that in character you would probably feel a sense of urgency, and the preparation that it would take to do the medical snot might be a little long. He is unconscious.
Okay,
Andre is
I would.
unconscious.
You could just like
I have
pour it
another
in,
pitch.
like after.
The reason I need to know
Mhm.
the kilometers thing is that if I can expect YGS to not leave a radius of 3 kilometers of me while I'm applying the medical snot, I can just tell my blood to tell me exactly where he is as soon as I'm done here.
I think this is one of those fuck around and find out moments. You should decide, are you going to spend 6 rounds out of combat doing medical snot, or are you going to pursue?
Well, I can use sabotage
Okay.
potentially. If this dumpster is a device that's currently working,
Right.
The latch, the lid.
Sure.
then I can sabotage it.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's
So if
cheaper.
you want to dump Andro's body in there and then you sabotage to secure it shut, that's fine with
I
me.
would love to dump I would love to dump like some protein bars or something in there with him so that he doesn't like die of starvation when he
I'll allow it.
like wakes up. Like I'll put some snacks in there and then like
Maybe a
yeah.
blanket.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
snacks,
just
a
let
her
book,
go.
a
Throw an
Um,
iPad in there.
flashlight.
Yeah. Sleeping bag.
and I just sketch. Yeah. So I want to put in things. I don't want him to die in there, like because he's just trapped, right? But like I want to secure it. Yeah, it says I can take any device that's currently working and make it fail or function in a way that wasn't intended. So I guess like I'm just like mangling the lock so that it's going to stay shut. And I have to, okay, you can tell me. So I need to burn an amount of grit for this, where X is the type of tech and Y is the level of complexity.
Clank 1.
Okay.
This is like the most basic of basic mechanical stuff here.
So what level is Clank? Because I need to
The
times.
first. It is like 1 and 1.
So it's 1-1.
Yeah.
So one
I
grit.
burn. So I have 2 XY grit to burn. So that would be 2, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I think is appropriate given you're just like basically jamming a locking mechanism by
Yeah,
hitting it with a
so there's
wrench, which you have in your hand.
There's a bonus part to this as well, where I can, for more grit, I can also make it so that the sabotage can't be traced back to me. Do you think it's worth?
I don't think
I
you
mean,
need to
he's
worry
gonna
about
know.
that.
Yeah,
You've got a wrench in your hand already. This is
Yeah.
you're just trying to mess up the mechanisms on it. Just burn the 2 grit. You got it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I think Andro is basically stuck in there with protein bars, a sleeping bag, an Etch-a-Sketch, an iPad,
Yeah.
and
And
couple
just
stuffed
like
animals.
also buried in a ton of garbage.
yeah, and the
Honestly,
remains
he
of the brain
probably
rat
needs the
jerky.
break.
Yeah. This is a very specific
we
issue.
He might
really.
immediately like he's got the excuse of being knocked unconscious. He's trying to stay awake in there, but
Yeah.
it is just
It's a
he's
Verbo.com
completely
home
stifled,
delivery.
So
Yeah.
he might very well actually get a couple hours of shut-eye, which is not great for good for health, probably not great for the mission.
Right. And I'm fine saying that he's stuck in there until someone else can get him out.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I don't need to bother with how soundproof the dumpster is.
Nope. Yeah. Okay. So after all that happens, Terri, you see that YTS and the guards seeing you running and having heard run, and like YTS knows Andro's voice, he would have recognized that, and they also start taking foot. So they're also now like fleeing for right now, just forwards. Okay, so we're back to Terri, what are you doing?
I want to use one of my electric bolas and
Okay.
try and trip up YTS.
Go for it.
Okay. So this
Are
is
we
one of
doing
my.
it now then?
I'm just gonna try and trip him up now.
Yeah.
And just so everyone knows, this is something Aaron and I came up with. So it's a bolus, so it should like wrap around his legs. But we made it so that if your target is hit, she must make another move check against 6 or trip and fall over. And I think that they were like, wait. And unless they are resistant to electrical shock, they receive 1 stun.
Mhm.
So
if you've ever seen Legend of Korra, it's like the things the Equalists had. That was the
Yes.
inspiration here.
yes. Okay, so D8. Get it.
I'm rolling versus that.
I got a 2.
Okay.
Please get a 1.
I rolled a 4. Sorry.
Fuck. Why didn't I charge it?
I don't know. I don't know why you didn't charge it.
Just throwing just like
it
a straight up
skitters.
polo at them.
It skitters past them, and they, whatever costume or disguise
Oh yeah,
you
I
had
burnt
previously.
myself.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
you burnt yourself. Yeah.
She's like, oh no, my yo-yos.
And at least I'm going to say one of the guards saw it. The other 2 didn't. They're running forwards. YTS is unaware because you didn't hit him.
Right.
It just may as well have been a rock or something. Okay. WSC and Rel, what are you both doing?
So, are we meant to be killing him in secret? I take it.
This is really up to you.
Was that specified?
I thought the code didn't want it to be immediately traceable.
Right. Okay.
But I have powers that can help us with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but ideally, we want to do this not out in the open.
Ideally, I mean,
yeah.
well, at this point, like if they get away, someone is ostensibly making an attempt on them. I would act quickly. What do you want to do?
It will be harder later if we let this opportunity slip.
You guys, is it time for my concussion grenades?
Now
I'd say
is
it's
the
time for
time for
concussion
concussion.
grenades. Yeah.
So I think you do your thing first, and then I go.
So I actually ask that. I'm like, is it time for my concussion grenades? And then I start rubbing my little hands together. And
The GM always says the answer is yes.
So I take it on one turn. I can only use 1 at a time.
I believe so. You're just yeeting one concussion grenade at them. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna throw it. Like I'm booking it kind of after Terri, but obviously I'm a little bit behind. Well, I guess am I in range? Because this is a range of 5 meters.
A range of 5 meters. You are not currently in range. You would need to kind of like book it out there.
Yeah. Well, I will do that, and then as soon as I can get in range, then I will chuck it.
Okay. Yeah, throw it.
Okay. So I take it that's a calm roll. Just says damages all targets within. Yeah, I take it this counts as like a weapon attack, so it would be calm, right?
Yes.
And from your friendly neighborhood idiot, you might want to boost it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I recommend boosting it.
Yeah, I might need some thinky boost after this, but I
take your space drugs.
How much am I gonna boost it? I've only got 11. No, I'm gonna okay. I'm gonna boost
my
this by
notes say you
6.
have 18 grit.
No, I've used some though.
Okay.
So I'm down to 11 because of sabotage and stuff.
Yeah.
I go through grit so fast as a sheriff. Or just as me, I guess.
I have thinky boost.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so I have a D8 for combat, and I'm gonna boost it by 6.
Okay. Yeah.
So here goes.
Hurl it.
Whoa! Oh my God, that's an 8.
Perfect. I love it.
I actually also have +2 to hit. So that was
okay. Yeah, great.
a complete waste. So I've got 10 plus 6 is 16.
Okay.
I mean, that's sick. I
That's
love
awesome.
it.
That was such a waste of grit.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it's not.
Okay.
It's just
What was the number you rolled again?
dotting every I.
16.
Okay. And you nail it. Like that is such a great roll, and they are I rolled for them. No.
Nice.
So what happens with the concussion grenade?
It's just it just sounds like it's like a burst of like music that's just like deafeningly loud. And maybe there's like a bit of like a smoke effect as well, like it's a disco kind of vibe.
Okay.
And yeah, it just like goes off. I think like I guess I don't have time to warn. I don't know if Terry's in range or
That's
if Terry's
fine
going to be
if I'm in
affected by
range.
this. Yeah, I'm going to stick my fingers inside my ears as this like just blast of sound comes out.
Okay. What kind of music is it?
Important questions.
Late
Is it
Tefnian
Enya?
dance music.
Perfect. Okay. So the concussion grenade, YTS makes the save, the resist save, but all three guards fall.
Okay, well that's something. That's
All
something.
right.
All right. WSC, what are you doing?
I see the flash and I hear the bang from the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And Rel, the faint metallic smell swells, and it's like it smells like you're wading through a pool of blood, and the lights around us dim as a cloud of nanites erupt, and my form reconfigures, so I get even taller and skinnier, and it's like an awful uncoiling of limbs as I stretch into this new position.
Oh, Slenderman.
Yes,
Horrifying.
Slenderman.
Oh, look at the lighting change.
Oh, the theatrics.
Dang,
Hell yeah.
dude.
And I am going to wear the world's skin.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get real nasty. Just give me the time to roll 3d4s. That's how
Okay.
much grit I'm going to burn.
Do you do anything else other than shift this round? Do you get to make any other actions?
I'm gonna do this and then run, and if you let me, because this is a free thing.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool.
Oh, no, sorry, no. The other one was free. This one is standard, but I want to do this and run into the street and try to get into Yellow Tent Shaver's face.
I would say you can do this and move and get to him, but not attack him this round.
Okay.
What does Wear the World's Skin do again?
I just burnt 12 grit, so I have 13 rounds of +2 damage reduction. My unarmed attacks deal my combat, which is d12 + 1. I automatically intimidate all non-blooders who see me and fail a will check. So this is happening. And I will be regenerating, and I can regenerate my health by burning grit if I need to.
Okay.
And I'm going to mark that I burnt a shit ton of grit. So my grit went from 23 to 11.
Okay. Awesome. And so you said you're trying to close the gap on YTS?
Yeah, like
You
the YTS sees me emerging from the corner, and it's this slender bug type thing. And at this point, my guise has gone off. So like,
Yeah.
it's this thin, stretched, pointy thing that moves in a stilted manner with Sonic, Harry Potter, Obama on its
Oh my god.
I love it.
And I'm barreling in his direction, and he needs to roll a will resist world or be incredibly intimidated.
Awesome. Is it an actual intimidation roll, or are we just talking like flavor wise?
You intimidate all non-blooders who fail a will check.
Okay. Is it a standard will check? I will roll that.
I think so. Yeah.
Never mind.
Specify so it's a standard.
You don't even have to tell me he failed. What happens?
Do we
if he
also need
fails?
to roll this?
Yeah, I feel like we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's on,
Have you
allies
ever
as
seen
well.
this like happen in the party? Yeah.
I think
I-
Terry has.
Yeah, you should
Oh,
probably
okay.
roll it too.
We do that's what I do when I'm getting out of the briefcase.
Yeah.
I rolled a
Oh.
1 + 1.
Okay, so Rel is maybe a bit shook by this. How about Terri.
I rolled a 9.
Okay.
Oof.
Terri, you've seen weirder stuff in the span.
That's true.
Awesome. YTS is very, very concerned and stumbling slightly, but is just trying to book it, like going down, like just darts down an alleyway, hoping that they can try to lose you down there.
But I managed to get in his face before he did that.
Like in front of him?
Yeah, like I would do that as I'm running out of the thing. I did my standard action, and then I took all the movement I can to close the gap.
I'm gonna say you can't get ahead of him, but I will put you in range where you can keep up with him now. You were like 2 rounds behind on movement, so I'm letting you catch up on that with the rest of this.
Okay.
Terri, it's your turn.
Cool. I'm going to try and do my bolus again.
Okay.
But I'm going to actually burn grit this time.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I'm going to burn 6 grit.
Okay.
And I rolled a 7.
Attacker wins ties. He rolled a 7 on his dodge. You land it.
Well, no, I rolled a 7 plus 6.
Oh, okay. Then you creamed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very. So it's a move check to not fall over.
It's a and it's a standard check.
Okay. He falls over.
So he has 1 stun unless he has resistance to electrical shock.
He does not. And so the stun one, it's a will resist roll, right? Or is it? Let's see. I had this open a minute ago.
No. If your target is hit, she must make a 6+ move check against trip, fall over, and unless they are resistant to electrical shock, they receive 1 stun.
Oh, they just automatically get it.
Yeah, the move check was to avoid all of that.
Okay.
I also, by the way, forgot to inflict damage for my concussion grenade, so YTS has 1 point of damage.
Oh, okay. Excellent. I'll note that.
Okay. Just to be fair, I feel like Terri probably. Well.
Okay, they fall over and are effectively incapacitated. What happens now?
We gotta bag him.
Grab him. Let's go.
You say grab him. I was going to murder this.
Yeah, should we just murder him?
I'm a monster. And then I'm going to duck into a corner and look human and walk away whistling.
Yeah, so
I don't know that I necessarily want to do the murder right out in the middle of the street, though.
I mean,
we have a better opportunity to do the mission?
I feel like it's going to be better to murder him in the street, and then I can ancient red fish in an hour and try and pin this crime on someone else.
Okay. Cool.
I can look like the guy we just put in the dumpster when I walk away.
Oh, fuck.
What I need a yay or nay. Is the murder happening? Or are you like?
I mean, I don't. That's just what Rel would say, but I don't have control over anyone else's actions. So, yeah, like do what you're gonna do, guys.
Okay, he's stunned and incapacitated. I mean, he's down and stunned. You can coup de grace him here.
Well, I'm rolling some combat unless it's just an execution, and the metallic voice coming out of me just goes, "Commence the snipping of extremities."
Oh God. Well, that'll have to happen off camera. But
I just descend upon him like a spindly nightmare. And we can leave it at that.
Okay. YTS is no more. The stagehands appear on stage and guide the actor off.
I pick up my push broom and just like.
Well. So, did any of you happen to look for surveillance equipment?
No.
Okay.
No.
Noted. So, we're actually at the end here. It's 2. I know we started a few minutes late, but congratulations. You've technically completed your mission.
In
the messiest way possible. But yes.
I have one question. I don't know if this can be accomplished before we leave it.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is that I'm going to drop this form and assume another as soon as I possibly can.
Yes.
The idea is that in the next session, I'm going to have to find a corner without a camera in.
I think collectively that should be likely. I also want to point out that, let's see, who's closest to the alley where you stowed Angero in?
I think that would be Rel.
Guess probably me. Yeah.
Ethan, would you say that the walkie-talkie would be audible out through a dumpster?
I leave that in the GM's hands.
I mean,
it doesn't make up. It doesn't. It's so the dongle that he uses is actually from one of the parties.
Okay.
And it is it's higher tech than a Clank walkie-talkie.
Okay, so they probably wouldn't hear anything. Okay, that's fine. Great. So yeah, I think the things left unknown here are: were you spotted? Did anyone see you? And I mean, how are you going to get out? So that's to be determined in the next episode of Stillfleet Qadida Double Venture.
How many? I swear it's not an unnecessary question.
Mm-hmm.
How many attacks do you think would be required for me to unalive Yellow Tent Shaver? Because that determines how much grit I get out of him.
Oh, I mean, you can address that however you like. I mean, I guess, like, do you want to maximize the number of attacks?
Yes, because I recover more grit.
We can handle that post stream. I'll figure out exactly the amount in case it matters. But as far as, like, if you want to do it the minimal number, I mean, he's helpless. You just make it happen.
Yeah.
My guy sucks. He's going to get as many D4s as he can, but we need not to go in details here.
I'll give you his hit point total, and then you can figure it out. Hey, Wythe.
Hey, how's it going? So thanks everyone for getting to this point. So next week, July 2nd is the big ending. So everyone tune in, same time, same place. And we'll use StreamYard, and we will figure out what happens now that YTS has been definitively assassinated. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and thanks everyone who's backed Qadida on Kickstarter. Hopefully this is fun, and there's a lot of new rules, and we really, really enjoy having great playtesters and streamers who come up with lots of zany stuff. And of course, Ethan and Aaron on the team, thank you guys so much for helping run the stuff, make it happen.
Please check the previous episodes if you haven't watched them already.
Oh yeah, they're up on YouTube, as this one will be. So we'll put it up this week, and then we'll be back here for the grand finale with everyone somehow next Sunday.
And we're the good guys.
Abby ran four groups of
the good at our job, guys.
Are you though?
This is like every spy movie ever. It's really hard to root for anyone if you think about it too hard. On that note, I guess we'll find out next week what happens and what the repercussions are for Qadida. But we just don't know. No one knows. Thanks, everybody.
Well, thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye. Yeah.